friends to our charity one-shot of The Between, a gothic horror Victorian TTRPG by the Gauntlet. Today we are raising money for Northwest Center, which is near and dear to my heart because it's right in my backyard, based out of Seattle. Helping kids and families with developmental disabilities and just all sorts of different support. So exclamation point donate in chat for that. We already have one incredible donation.
It's an old.
Oh, Moobot.
Yep.
Okay, well, okay, this is fine.
I mean, I'll still run a one-shot for a $50 donation or $80 donation, whatever.
It's
I don't
fine.
mind.
I mean, I run one-shots for free. It's fine.
Turning off all these commands just like floods my screen. Okay, so we'll do that in a second.
We'll circle back around.
Come back to it. We do have donations for incentives for $10. You can add +1 or -1 to a player's roll. This game only uses 2d6s, so that has a massive impact. For $25, I have a random chaos character named Mr. Skimbleshanks. You're welcome, theater nerds. And
I love you so much.
I know you do. And for $50, which we have already received, we will inflict or clear a condition for one player. Our opening one is we are inflicting a condition on a random character, which I will roll for shortly after they are introduced. But you can pick and choose as you like. So,
Joy.
I am going to go around the overlay and I will call you out and you can introduce yourself, say hi, and if you want to give your character name and your playbook name. Anniek, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Anniek. You can find me on Twitter at AnniekStar. I today will be playing Rose Allfield, who is known as the Vessel, which is definitely not as creepy as it sounds.
And Ash.
Hi, my name is Ashlina. I am Ashlina across the board, with 2 A's at the end, actually. But yeah, you can find me on all of the socials at Ashlina, Twitch, all of the things. And I am playing Ezra, the orphan. How much do I want to just think of your modern day Frankenstein-esque-ish character, very dirty, ragged clothes, quiet and observant. That is me. Thank you all for being here. I'm excited. This is my second time playing, so literally have not played for a very long time. So if you see me asking questions and looking in the camera I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, it's because I don't. So but we're gonna see what we can do. But thank you all for being here.
And I forgot the exclamation point. That was my fault. Baker.
Hi, I'm Baker. I'm playing Lady Guinevere Benbrook Evans. And essentially think Blair Waldorf, because that's who I am. Oh, and she's the explorer.
And Jen, how about you?
Jen, or Quixote Jen, or Jen Quixote. I get backwards all the time, depending on the platform I'm on. And I'm playing Dymphna, the lady's maid to Rose, who I called Miss. She wouldn't let me call her ma'am. I call her Miss. And my day job is to take care of Hargrave House. Oh, and I'm the factotum.
Excellent. Lady Dame.
Everybody, I'm LD or Lady Dame. And today I will be playing Lucky Lucy Winry, aka the American. What is
the
her
American?
voice? The American. That's sort of where I'm
Yes.
going right now.
Yeah.
Just your average sharpshooter with absolutely nothing to hide whatsoever.
Love it.
Okay, Luke, that means it's you.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Luke. You can find me on Twitter at Dr. Petrichor. And today I am playing Lysander Alphonse Prospero, the Undeniable. And he's basically an immortal being, but you'll see more about that. No big deal. Totally normal.
Totally normal. Absolutely describes
Totally normal.
this entire group situation. Okay. Everyone cross your fingers. I'm going to roll for the random condition. You
Freaking
can
A.
thank Mare.
Mayor.
Jen.
I mean, boo.
All right. We're not in the middle of anything, so context-wise, I'm just kind of pulling out of the ether. I'm going to say that let's give you the dark miasma. Miasma?
Miasma?
Condition.
Yeah.
Miasma. Yep. I'm not even going to look at captions to see how that went.
I need a point in that, please.
You have a little bit of a cough. Like, it's fine. I probably wouldn't run, like, long distances or for very long.
Okay.
Good. Sure, that's fine.
Looking a little weak there, like you're not all at 100%. Honestly, if you get out in the fresh air more, I promise it's good for you.
It's a
what I
touch of
do.
consumption, consumption.
First,
like,
it's the snivels and the sneezing.
Yeah. At this point,
there's-
it's just a little innocent cough. Your quarters, you know how you keep them spick and span, probably, question mark. But you don't take care of all of Hargrave House. And, there's a few dusty vents. Maybe it's dust. Maybe it's not. Good news.
slept with the window open.
Yes, that will definitely help in Victorian England.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Just air out the arsenic fumes a little bit.
Yeah. And don't question what's coming in the other way.
No, don't.
London's gross, y'all. Historically.
Especially this time period.
Especially
Yeah.
this time, yeah.
I mean, it still is.
Fair.
Okay. Yes, but all right. The scene. Hargrave House. You are all hunters. You investigate supernatural, odd occurrences. You're more investigators than like a task force or police force. Some of you have perhaps been doing this for a while. Some of you are new to this. I'm not going to make any guesses since nobody here has played before. I'll leave that up to you. It is morning, and it's a pretty nice day. Like there's a little bit of fog, but for those of you in the parlor, you can hear people passing on the street, chatting happily. Probably cobblestones. I don't know. I'm not a historian. Who is probably in the parlor sitting room? Wow, I don't know that much about Victorian culture, it turns out. BBC, you've let me down. This isn't about me. Who amongst you would probably be down sipping on your tea and or coffee and or just reading the morning paper? Drawing room, thank you. Yes.
I would probably. Lady Guinevere would be awake already.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lysander would also be down, not uncommonly with Lady Guinevere, though he would be munching on some sort of strange caviar, along with a glass of wine already.
Damn. Okay.
Sure. The cellars are 24/7, so
Rose would be waiting in her room for Dimphna to fetch her breakfast.
Oh, you'd have woken up to breakfast. You'd have woken up to breakfast.
Exactly. Everything's still drawn. It's far too early. It's far too light outside. There's a lot of, yes, sure.
Ezra would probably be trying to figure out a way to go walk amongst the normal people. Do a little walk outside, trying to figure out a way, hide her face and go out into the world.
I had a bit of a late night last night, so I definitely am sleeping in. That's not uncommon for Lucky.
Oh.
I mean,
I just like night walks, you know? I love the people. I love the crowds here in London. Like, it's very different than back home, but sometimes, you just need a little peace and quiet. That's all I'm saying.
Out of curiosity,
Yes.
how comfortable are you all in Hargrave House? Is it a place where you kind of feel at peace, safe from the world? Are you uncomfortable? Is it how are we fitting in? There are other hunters there.
I think Rose is comfortable to the point that it might make other people uncomfortable. Her stuff is just lying around. She swans around in feathered dressing gowns like she owns the place. She has other houses, but this one's just different. There's less judgment when there's bloody scratch marks down your back in the morning. It's home, really, away from home.
I didn't really have a choice, so that's how I feel about the house.
It's a house like any other.
I think Lysander makes whatever he is as extra as he needs it to be, and so even though they might be eating at a very humble dining room table, he has brought out a candelabra and a salad fork and tea kettle, like the whole 9 yards. So he needs to. He kind of feels the need to make wherever he is in the house, however extra and extravagant he wants to be.
Rose would absolutely support your endeavors in that sense.
There'd be multiple sets for everyone who wanted it.
It's not the strangest place I've been, but, it's weird. Like, the people here are very strange, but I kind of fit in everywhere I go, I'll be honest. I'm not sure how everybody else likes me, I'll be honest, but, I'm as snug as a bug in a rug.
Have a good library.
Oh yeah. There is
Then Gwen feels right at home. I just steal books from the library and go settle wherever I want.
That's probably why I stayed as well, because of the books.
Yes, there's a very I don't want to say complete. Eclectic, I think, is a better word for it. There's your general classics, which are probably new at this point. Actual classics, books on languages, art, maps, and also some more archaic, mystical type. I don't want to say tomes, but some of them are tome-esque. Okay. So, if you are on your way out, Ezra, I would say you see a, sitting on a little table in the hall, someone has brought in a copy of the newspaper, the Daily Telegraph, for the day. we're gonna pause that thought real quick because we have another condition to inflict.
I thought you were about to hurt me. I was like,
I might.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
You might be the lucky one.
Okay.
So the way I'm doing this is I am rolling a d6, and
Okay.
I'm basing it off the overlay. So
Okay.
5 is lucky.
Oh, good.
You probably have a bit of a hangover, I'd say, right? Like
Yeah.
you're up late. You've just
Super
got,
valid.
You've just got that headache.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's not the worst, but like strong lights, not great. Strong sounds, not super fun.
Mm-hmm. That checks out.
Seems reasonable. Okay. So, I'm on the wrong screen. So, Ezra, you see a newspaper just kind of laying on the entry room table, and something fun about the Victorians is that's really when death and murder became sensationalized. You know, you could tour homes where people had just been murdered, sometimes before the bodies were even gone. Gory, descriptive plays were on stage. You would have broadsides, you know, detailing all the grisly, awful crimes. And this day is no different. There is a grisly murder on the paper that catches your eye. And it is a woman named Clara Yarborough, who was found dead not too far away. She was a washerwoman. Might have even done some of the washing for Hargrave House, although I'm not sure you would have necessarily interacted with her. And the part that catches your eye, because let's be honest, this is not a particularly like safe time, safe town, any of that. Her face has been carefully removed. And might be worth mentioning to the others.
Did I miss you mentioning her name?
Clara Yarborough.
Claire Yarborough.
Clara. Okay.
Yep.
First, I think Ezra is going to feel some sort of... It's going to feel normal to her in some sense, but it's also going to feel like she's just going to get a little shudder. And she was on her way out. She wanted to go see possibly Joshua. But she's going to retreat back into the drawing room. That's what we called it, right? Right. And she's just gonna drop the paper. Like, I guess there would be like a coffee table of some sort, maybe with like a tea set on it. She's just gonna drop the paper right there and just like kind of hide like this. And just, you know, gesture that she just dropped the paper there so that everyone could see. Maybe I'll be like, there's been another.
Oh, is it time for work to start up again?
Isn't it always time?
Well, you're right. There is always a mystery to solve, something to discover.
The paper does detail, and for those of you who regularly read the paper, you would also recognize this is in fact the third murder where the face is missing this month.
Guinevere's I'm gonna pick up the paper, and at the same time I'm gonna close the book I was reading and hand it to Ezra and go, Jules Verne just dropped a new book in French. It's quite good. It's called the Floating Island. Sorry, correction. Floating City. I think you'll enjoy it. And starts reading the paper.
I'll just take the book and just be like, won't really say much.
Y'all are a treat.
I think at that point, Lucky will have wander down from her personal quarters, sort of yawning and looking like kind of a mess. It's so bright out. Anybody got coffee ready? What's the grub for this morning?
I've got wine.
Oh, hair of the dog might not be a bad idea. No. Coffee, black as tar, and whatever red meat is in the kitchen, preferably still kicking.
I hear mixing coffee and wine can help with hangovers quite well.
Is that some sort of newfangled European hangover cure? Because I never heard of that one.
I believe it recently got popular in France.
Don't know if I trust it.
I wouldn't either. The French aren't the greatest.
No, but they are great at finding opportunities for indulgence, and I'm inclined to agree with them most of the time.
Valid. Their fashion is much better than ours.
Agreed.
Well, I'll take some coffee. What's anything new and interesting this morning?
Well, someone got their face removed again last night.
Yeah, it's in the paper.
Not
It's
one
the
of
third
us.
one this month.
Yes.
Oh my. Who's the sorry soul this time?
I forgot to write that down.
Clara Yarborough is her name.
Third one, huh?
Yeah.
Shit.
I just don't understand.
Those of you, excuse me, local to the area, or if you continue to read the paper, the journalistic integrity is dodgy at best. So, there is reference to, it's not like a serious, this is who's doing it, but there is a strong rumor of Sally No Face, who's sort of a urban legend. The sort of figure. You've got children's songs about her. You've got parents whispering to their kids, behave or old Sally No Face will get you. But it could just be some gross creep.
Do we recognize the name at all?
Clara or Sally No Face?
Clara.
Maybe she would have done some washing because she's not far away. She would have done some of the washing for Hargrave House. But
Would there be a picture of her?
servant's work.
You know how sometimes they put just a little.
It's a very grisly reproduction of the crime scene, and then a little tiny. It could almost be anybody. A little inset picture of her.
I think because Ezra's very much in the shadows a lot and very observant, maybe Ezra would have seen her once or twice, but it's not I know her personality or anything like that.
Well, 3 times makes this not a coincidence anymore. Seems deliberate.
It's a serial killer.
They call that a pattern, last time I checked.
I mean, cutting someone's face off the first time seems very deliberate, but it's not.
Well, but it could have been a crime of passion or something, and sometimes it's the one-off kind of thing. but
I mean, I guess if you hate someone that much. There's that.
I mean, I've definitely hated some people that much. Tell you what.
Seems that crimes like this, though, I'm not unfamiliar with those who envy the face of another, but steal it and take it away post-mortem. That takes a specific type of deviant, I'd say.
I think as you're saying this, Rose would be walking into the drawing room behind you going, well, yes, I mean, how do you think Ezra got hers? Morning, darlings, morning.
Good
Are
morning,
you stealing
Rose.
faces?
Your face is always fine. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're such a darling. Such a liar. Lucy, any of that coffee left? I had a bear of a night.
As she's got like basically the whole pot.
That's probably why Rose is asking.
I suppose I can spare you some.
We can also
Ever so
talk
generous.
more.
Since you ask so nicely.
Thank you, Lucy. And
Yes,
yes,
I can heat that up for you if you need it.
No, this is fine. I'll suffer in silence, as always.
Oh, I don't want you suffering.
You might want some cream in there for your delicate sensibilities.
Honestly, what I feel like I need in here is a bit of bacon.
Bacon. Gotcha, man. Mess. Is there anyone else that wants bacon?
I'll take some bacon.
I will too.
You know how I like it though. A little undercooked or a lot of undercooked.
Yeah, I want it
Bacon.
just two on the too crispy side.
Nothing for me.
You sure,
Two ba-
Sweden?
At various stages of cooked.
Have you had bacon before? It's pretty good, especially the way she makes it.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
I am skilled at bacon. So if you ever want some,
I'll take
now I'm
some
going into
water.
southern
Water.
water and bacon. All right, I got it for you. And I zip off to the kitchen, but I'm back like very, very quickly. I've just got that bacon skill ready.
Well, not too fast. You're coughing, you're sneezing, you're a mess.
I don't ever cough into the bacon.
Thank you. I just wanted
we
to make
promise.
sure that everything's like, low levels of tuberculosis in general.
It's not tuberculosis mess. I'm very careful. But I'll get you bacon for everyone. I'll be back soon. I'm like floating between Southern and Irish because
You're welcome.
It's really hilarious.
I love it.
Who's holding the newspaper at this point?
I am.
No,
Go
not
on,
exactly.
Gwen, read to me.
Read to
But
you.
like softly though. It's got
What's going on?
Well, there was a murder last night, a Clara Abriel. She's apparently from our area. Really, the article's not worth reading. It's terrible writing. I don't know where they find these people, but her face was removed. It's a rather grisly picture. And there's rumors that it's Sally No Face because children's
Oh, that's
stories.
that's
always
adorable.
exist.
I think on face
And-
was removed. There's a clatter of a dish breaking in the kitchen. And Dimphna comes out with like a plate of like, there's like some fussing. And describing the article with like a plate of not crispy bacon and puts it on the table all flustered. Clara?
Yeah.
You mean Clara, the washerwoman?
Oh,
Yeah.
she's our washerwoman?
She washed the linen that you're eating on right now.
Oh, well, then I think we should probably send her family, if she has one, or any of her charges, a little extra money to make up for it. Well, not make up. You know what I mean. That's what we do, right? Yes.
Sure.
I'd say usually we stay in the realm of figuring out what happened to her and letting her family sleep at night by catching whatever killed her.
I mean, yes, we're gonna do that, but isn't it proper to send a sum of money, a month's worth of wages or so?
We just do both.
Yes, whatever custom is usual for this day and age, whatever the norm is, I suppose.
Yes, let's not overdo things. Was this the third phase? Did I hear this correctly?
Yeah, third
Yeah.
one this month.
I'm sorry.
Yep,
Oh.
1, 2, 3, like some sort of ritual or something.
Or maybe someone's building Ezra some siblings. Who knows?
Eva, do we know anything about the past 2 murders?
Just the same thing. Kind of rumors of Sally No Face. You know, not necessarily just like, oh, this is like Sally No Face's MO, but it's basically just folk dead. Their faces very, very neatly, almost perfectly removed.
Were they all lower class women?
No. One is Edward Clive was a dock worker, and Dolly Merriweather was a maid. So lower class, not all women.
What was the second name? I'm sorry.
Dolly Merriweather.
That's it.
Well, if everyone's had enough of your fill of bacon and coffee and such, then how about we go and ask the friendly constable if they found anything useful there? Perhaps they could lead us to see if it is actually some strange children's tale or not.
Or I could go see if the crime scene is still there.
I knew there was something I forgot to mention before stream started. Maybe I
Joy.
mentioned
That was
this
a good-
during session
Now
zero.
is as good a time as any.
No time like the present.
Do it.
I love you all deeply. You are amazing role players. If this was a campaign, we could go off and do whatever the heck we wanted. Because this is a one-shot,
We're on rails. We're on rails.
humbly
Choo-choo.
request that you, if you do split up, no more than 2 distinct parties.
Got it. Okay, no
Copy
splitting
that.
up.
That's a good thing to. I love that you just put that out
Yes,
there.
thank
like,
you.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Just because we're on a little bit of a time frame.
Right. I'm not doing
in
it.
the future,
Super
I feel
valid.
like we'll do this more, but
What did I tell you? Don't let me do these things that we're doing in our other campaign. No splitting up. Okay. I'm going with everyone.
Split up, but minimize the splitting up.
Right,
You know,
right.
two groups max.
Scooby-Doo rules. Right. Sort of,
Yeah.
right.
Don't end up in a crypt.
Well, I like the idea of going to visit the crime scene for sure, but I mean, if we talk to the constable first, maybe they'll actually let us look at it without,
That's what I said.
bugging us
know
about
you're
it later.
I know you're saying constables, but I feel like maybe coroner.
Ooh.
Because, out
Probably.
of character. This is roughly around the time they actually started dissecting people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without like they'll grave rob and go medical but this would be the exactly.
yeah,
I'm trying not to I'm trying not to shit on Ezra OC as well,
It's okay. Do it.
but I there should be like if they're not it wouldn't be called a coroner yet, but there would be someone picking apart this body even further.
we can
One
of those
all-
dead
Could we say
doctor
that they're
types.
all in the same building, maybe?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
just convene. Eva, are they conveniently located right next to each other? Maybe.
Weirdly, that's how that works. And we can call it the medical examiner. This is definitely post Burke and Hare. So, yes,
Yeah.
dissection is absolutely, to coin a phrase,
We're
on the
roughly around the
table.
time where you cut open a body and then you go deliver a baby and you wonder why everything goes to shit.
Right.
Absolutely. Did
Why
we just
people are
talk
getting
about
sick
this?
and
Was that in group chat? I feel like that was somewhere.
I saw that
No,
on
group-
Twitter. Yeah, someone
Group
was
chat
talking
was-
about it on Twitter.
Group chat was arsenic. But
Yes.
it's a miracle we made it to how old our characters are, guys.
I'm just very hardy.
Quick question.
Yes.
Yes.
Because Lady Guinevere works for the Queen, would I be able to just be like, I am investigating on behalf of the Queen? And
Mm.
You could try and pull rank.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see if they believe you or not. So to be clear, we're all headed to the. Are you headed to the crime scene, or are you headed to the? I'm gonna call it the coroner's office. It's
Yep.
definitely just like the basement of the constable's. It's gross.
And I think Dimphna would have said, like, Miss Rose, we don't want to stay alone in the house.
No,
Why
well
don't you
aware.
come with
But
me?
just 5 minutes before we go, like Rose is gesturing to the feathered dressing gown she's wearing, like perhaps more proper attire.
I will help you. Very quick. So I can't do this. Very quick.
Yeah.
So she gets more, helps you get something more practical. That off and something more practical on.
So say that takes like 5 minutes. While Dimphna and Rose are alone in Rose's quarters, I would like to use a thinning of the veil to get a sneak peek at what's about to happen to us.
Yes.
So while Dimphna is like picking my outfit and fussing about my hair and politely ignoring the bruises, I'll be doing a quick little tarot reading, drawing the olive, and the snapdragon, and I use my move, a thinning of the veil, where I would like to roll with sensitivity to ask what is about to happen.
Yes.
Let's hope I roll good! Because on a miss, it might not be great for someone else. It's great, the bad consequences of my actions aren't mine.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
That is a 10.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
So, on a hit, I may ask what is about to happen. The keeper will answer truthfully, but not necessarily completely. On a 10 or higher, you may also ask, why is this about to happen?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't doom one of my fellow hunters.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not
Yes.
saying
Oh,
that's
it's gonna
out of
happen.
character, but
It's gonna happen.
Okay. What is about to happen is the beautifying of London.
And why is this about to happen?
Psychopathy.
Fair.
And because London's ugly.
I mean, they're not wrong.
No, there's multiple layers to London being ugly, but
I agree with most of them. So does Rose.
Can I also use my dusk? Oh, it's dusk phase. Never mind. I thought it was a dawn phase. So
we're in the day phase, for the record.
yes,
In the day
they all
phase,
start
even.
with D. It's
They
confusing.
do. They do.
I will, like, while Dimphna is fixing me up, and I'm reading my tarot deck, I'm assuming Dimphna's used to this at this point, but there's a lot of... I don't necessarily read the cards, it's more that I make a spread and then the shadows tell me how I'm supposed to interpret them. So there's a fair amount of me currently talking to shadows with my eyes fully black and some wisps of dark smoke. Nothing particularly worrisome. And when I'm done, I'll tell Dimphna. So apparently some crazy person is thinking they're making London more beautiful.
By removing faces.
So that makes you wonder where he puts them.
There's a full body shutter, just a full body shutter. I think Clara's face was beautiful to begin with.
Oh, apparently it needed to replace something ugly. Anyway, let's go before they leave without us.
Let's go. I'm not staying here alone.
Oh, no, of course not. Besides, I need someone to carry my bag.
I got your bag, miss.
You will notice that the tarot deck is tucked safely into small clothes and is absolutely not going in the bag. Properly attired with just a little bit too much cleavage, Rose will rejoin the others wherever they are waiting for him.
Dimphna's sort of weighed down with like 2 bags.
I need all of that.
Charm.
I need those things. Right.
No complaint here, man.
Wonderful. Ezra, Lucy, Gwyn, Lathandra. Are we good to go?
Mortuary is the word I was looking for.
Hey.
Yeah. You
Also,
probably make your way easy peasy. Let's see. It is. I'm trying. Some of you may have been in a place like this before. Some of you maybe not. So it is surprisingly well lit. Strong smell of chemicals. Pretty well organized, all things told. There is a bank of they're not called body shelves, but I hope you know what I mean.
Slabs?
Slabs. Thank you.
Body shelves.
But I love you so much.
That's what they're called in this world.
Yeah, that's a thing. Well, anyway, Ezra, some of these chemicals would be very strongly familiar.
I was just about to say this would feel familiar for Ezra.
And they're going into the building itself. No one really stops you. You do get a couple raised eyebrows because you were a very interesting group. But as you come across the mortuary itself, there is a man in it was probably white once coat. There are stains of all sorts. Nothing is getting that clean. He's very sweaty. He is kind of poking around through some of the vials and flasks on the table. A bit younger than you might assume would have such a theoretically important position. But he looks up when you all approach and adjusts his glasses that I'm not wearing and hello. I don't think you're supposed to be down here.
Hi there.
Are you looking for the constables? They're upstairs.
You know, we love the constable, but we also like answers better than we like questions, and I think you are the one to give us that.
Answers about...
Well, you see, we're from the Hargrave House. We're a team of investigators, and, you know, this is sort of right up our alley as far as, like, solving the problems that, you know, might elude the constables upstairs, you know what I'm saying?
No problems down here. We're just me and the dead. And he kind of gestures an elbow at there's 3 tables in the middle of the room. Only one currently has a body on it, currently under a sheet. But there is a noticeable red stain on one end, in a vaguely oval shape.
Dimfna, like, has a coughing fit and uses it as an excuse to look away.
That's fair.
Rose would have sidled up next to Ezra at this point because they're looking pretty uncomfortable. And just not saying anything, just linked arms, just sort of a quiet support thing.
And you're gonna notice that I'm like hiding myself because I would like to use a move.
Oh
yeah, I'll cover for you.
Okay. And walk me through this, like, you know,
Yeah.
if this is possible or not possible. But
Walk through it slowly until the
right.
donation goes through, because I'm giving you a +1.
Oh, thanks. Well, I was just going to use my Quicksilver voice. I don't know if this is possible. Tell me. But since I'm like obscured, I'm kind of hiding in the back. I want to ask the body dissector. What's his name? Coroner. Thank you. Coroner. I'm assuming that's what it would be called.
more or less.
Who is under that sheet there? And I can read a little bit of it. Take advantage on any dice rolls associated with actions involving speech or persuasion. So as long as you're doing so from the shadows or otherwise physically obscured. So I would be like kind of in the back, you know, and I'm always kind of hiding this big
That
scar on my
sounds
face.
Reasonable.
So, okay. So I just rolled 2.
So what you're going to do is actually, so you'll roll your 2d6s.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say you would add your, that is not the right thing. This is going to be your presence, if you have any, +1 or anything to your presence.
Nope.
Okay, then, so just roll 2d6s, add those together, but roll them again, take the higher number,
Okay.
because you get advantage, so you roll twice. I don't know if I've
Oh
ever
my
given you
god.
advantage.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Ho 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 ho.
Sorry.
Ho 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 ho. And you get to add +1 to the higher number.
Okay. 6.
Also, thank you, Anonymous. I'm very excited.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said 6 because I rolled 5 twice. Yeah. So.
Wait.
No, okay, so, roll your 2d6s, add them
I did.
together.
Add them.
Yeah, I did.
You add them together.
3 and 2.
Yeah.
Is 5.
Oh, Lord.
Three
Yeah.
and 2 stay 5, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Listen, I'm not good at math, but like I'm kind of good. I rolled 5
Only
twice.
2 5s. That's a great roll. No.
Oh.
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was like,
No.
that's 10. Nope.
No.
That's...
No.
Oops.
So,
Okay,
I
well,
think this fits with me very well. Damn it.
well, cross your
Frick.
fingers.
$10 well spent.
Okay. You... hang on, I have to write this down.
I'm writing it down too. For
Okay.
charity. Oh. Oh no.
Well, so you ask this, and this would be a... So the way this works is anything under a 7 is... We're just going to say not great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 to 9, it's kind of hit or miss. Like, you get some good, you get some bad. It's a mixed pot. 10 or more, things are good. Things work out. 12 plus, you smash it. You get everything you wanted and more. A little bonus, a little lanyap. Don't know why I used that word.
Beautiful.
Moving on. So what happens is you go ahead and say what you would say to the mortician, whose name you've not yet learned. Mortician.
Oh, frick. Okay. I'd just be kind of like hiding in the back, and you would just hear me say, do we know who is under the sheet? Has there been any identification as to who is under that sheet there?
So his face darkens.
At me.
And, because this isn't really any of y'all's business, he's got stuff to do. But, as he is starting to get upset, from behind you all, and kind of trying to, like, push through this crowd at the door, is a, very, ruddy-cheeked, red-haired, barrel-chested constable. Excuse me, coming through. Pater, I don't have an accent for this, and that's just fine. Pater, you have got to get Clara moving. There was an accident, there were horses, there were wheels, there were children, there were dogs. It's madness. Most people are fine, but there's like 3 bodies. They're not fine. Look, they were on a scaffolding, the scaffolding fell, and like the kids chased the horses, and the horses knocked the wagon into the scaffolding, and the painters it's a mess. You gotta get her moving. Sorry, y'all. I saw you. I can't say I didn't. I think I stepped on some of your toes. I'm right sorry.
It's alright. Steel toe boots, and you know.
I'm Constable Skimbleshanks at your service.
Skimbleshanks,
No.
the railway constable.
Yep. So what he has effectively done is distracted the mortuary worker from giving you a total failure. So you are now in the mixed bag territory. You can probably guess it's Clara because he said Clara. Didn't give you the last name, but also now Peter's a bit rushed. So, he's not quite as suspicious of you now. He's just wanting to get going. And all that elaboration is just to kind of describe what Constable Mr. Skimbleshanks is here for as a donation technique. He is a true agent of chaos. I roll to see if he helps or hinders himself. And sometimes maybe he'll do both. Who knows? Yes. So,
thank you, Eva.
Yes. Thank the anonymous donor, because that was...
Yeah, thanks, donors.
Thank you. Keep it coming.
That was exactly the same time as the +1, so...
Well,
Excuse me.
that just sounds real awful, and like, obviously, you must be very busy trying to deal with that. Hi, Lucky Lucy here. I'm from, and the rest of my friends were from the Hargrave House. We noticed that...
I don't know what that is.
Oh. Do people not know what we do around here?
Unfortunately, some of them don't.
Oh.
Some will, some won't.
I'm so sorry.
He's-
Well,
They're
okay.
more of a quiet consulting type thing rather than a they write about us in the paper type thing.
Well, look, needless to say, we are specialists in the unusual. And frankly, with this whole case that's happening we saw the article in the newspaper, and with this being like a string of things, this seems very unusual. Let me tell you about a story that I'm from, I don't know if you could tell, I'm from America.
Yeah, I picked that up.
Well, so we've seen cases like this over there all the time. We had this one character, we called them the Butterfly Man, and the tall person, like people spoke of satins, they would be surrounded in butterflies. I know it sounds crazy, but I tell you it's true. And every time somebody saw a sighting of them, the next day somebody fell down dead. Now, their faces weren't necessarily removed like they are in this case, but it was like their fingertips had been nibbled off. I don't know if you know about butterflies, but they don't just eat flowers like people think that they do. Yeah, fingertips nibbled off, toenails nibbled off, like kneecaps nibbled off. I tell you, it was the weirdest thing. So, I mean, me and my friends back in America, well, you know, not quite what I specialized in that point, but we tried our best to track them down. And, you know, I had to leave before I could figure out what happened. But, you know, we got real close to finding the Butterfly Man. I'll tell you what. So,
Okay.
all I'm saying is,
So Lucy doing all of this, Lady Guinevere is just gonna walk around to the mortician and just pull out money and just hand it to him.
so this is actually a move that I have.
Oh,
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
This is
okay.
Tall Tales.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
When I tell a story from back home that is wildly unbelievable in order to
Wait,
harm
this
someone.
is unbelievable. I
was so
I bought every word. I bought every word. It was
Same.
beautiful.
It was great.
I was
Roll
all
with
mad with
press.
myself because I was like, I haven't heard about the Butterfly Man.
I know. I was like,
So I can roll with presence. On a hit, they fall for your charm and do as you wish or reveal a clue. On a 10 plus, they won't ask for anything in return. On a 12 plus, they also give you a keepsake to remember them by.
Ooh.
oh, okay.
You're about to
Please
get
don't
Santa.
fail like I did, please.
We'll see.
God damn it.
Failures are just as interesting as successes.
I know.
That's a 6.
Okay.
We're rolling hot today.
I know.
So just as a reminder, if you want to, and this is just me reminding for me describing for the audience and also reminding all of us, there is a special move,
Oh, yeah.
the Janus mask, that
Oh, the
lets
mask.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, use the mask.
So-
Yeah,
Nothing can go wrong with the
Nothing will
mask.
go wrong if I use the Janus
I was
mask.
also just gonna cheat, just try to sweet talk him one last time if you don't. So up to you.
Besides, Gwyn is pulling out money. We're like tongs approaching this from two angles.
Yeah. So if
What
you
could go wrong?
narratively think it's interesting to use the Janus mask now,
I don't think this is the time I want to use it.
you do
Now-
get multiple. Well,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's playbook is different, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't know
There's
about...
a lot of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My acquaintances are quite bizarre at times, and I think what we're getting at is that we want to help you, and we want to help this poor soul. You see, she didn't deserve her fate, and
He's
we
counting
understand.
the money and just like pulls the sheet back.
All right then.
I'm gonna
I come up and hold her hand.
oh,
corpse.
you sweetheart.
Gwyn's gonna give an extra pound and be like, give us your report that you have so far as well.
And I'm just gonna be peeking, like,
Y'all are wild. Okay, for the report, that would probably be either move or just a roll.
I'll roll. Well, I got a 6 and a 5.
11.
Oh, yeah, you get the report. It just basically details the crime scene in kind of garish, sensationalist language. Just, she was found among her washing. There wasn't really anything noticeable excuse me, the place smelled of mildew, but she was a washerwoman, so like that kind of, they didn't really think there was anything to go up there. No sign of the face. That was a 10? No, an 11?
11.
11. Plus, depending on, would you count that as reason? I would count that as reason. I am giving him a logical reason to give me this report.
Money.
I mean, cash
Money and
jobs.
reasoning.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, just
Then
for
it's
the
a
sake of
12.
everything.
Then it's a 12.
You, so there, on the report, it looks like it came from a constable's hand into his, so he's adding his notes on top of someone else's. And the first set of handwriting describes that her flat is otherwise, her body, just the face is missing, like, otherwise nothing strange about it, aside from the fact that she's just dead.
Nothing that Ezra would recognize, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
No sign of the face, and what they thought was blood, like a trail or something, turned out to be, upon further inspection, and I will leave it to your imagination to determine how they figured that out, is rouge. Rouge, that's the word for it. Yes.
Were the faces removed post-mortem or pre-mortem?
That is a gross question.
I thought it said it in the newspaper that it was post.
Did it say?
Yeah, but what the newspaper says and what our
True,
mortician
you're right,
says is
you're right,
not
you're right.
necessarily the same thing.
You're right, you're
'cause
right, you're
I
right.
know English tabloids.
How much blood is on the skin where
Yeah,
the...
how much
Post-mortem.
post?
Yep.
So it is post.
Surgical precision, one might say.
Oh, okay.
But, and how did they die, though? I mean, I kind of missed that part. Were they strangled, or poisoned, or suffocated, or... Because if you want like a if you want like a pristine face, you're limited.
Can we look at the body and see if there's any obvious marks?
I really do.
No obvious marks. It is... So...
I'm gonna assume we're not gonna get like a full talk screen in 1871, but
No.
you know,
No.
strangulation leaves different marks than poisoning, and they know that even now.
No, yeah, no trachea damage, no bruising.
Any signs
Also,
of...
blood vessels in the eyes.
Yeah, no foaming or like anything.
They're
Any
Oh,
signs...
Eva.
just in the interest of time, I will say that perhaps poison.
As
Probably.
I'm holding her hand too, I want to investigate and see, for instance, with her fingernails, if there's signs that she was defending herself or fighting back, if there's blood or skin under the fingernails.
Very
I'd
strange,
also...
but no.
Okay. And maybe I can use my move, the information move, to try to figure out if she was like in the process of working when she was attacked, or might have been doing something else as I'm investigating her hand. And I'm gonna, with my free hand, take out my theater binoculars and try to use those to get more like close-up information about that area of her body, to try to figure out what she might have been doing when she was killed.
I mean, you would know just from your history, and your station, that she would have been working. She would have been doing the wash. I'll say I'm sure the newspaper would have said what time of day she was found. Yeah, she would have been caught doing the wash.
Okay. Then I will use my theater binoculars for style, but not mechanically.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there holding a corpse's hand with theater binoculars.
I'm adding +1 to your roll, Jen.
Aw.
Do I get to roll for it?
Oh,
This does sound like the information move. Which is
Yeah, that's what I was.
okay.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. Okay, then yes. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
And I would say with
Advantage because I'm using theater binoculars, right?
advantage +1 and probably reason.
That's a 7
With
with advantage and a +1.
Y'all.
Yep. I also rolled 5 twice.
Ay, ay, ay.
And I have
We're
one
not doing it
reason.
on purpose,
Wow.
I swear.
I know. But
It's
y'all,
fine.
if you donate, you
I'm a
could
little upset
super
because I
help
knew her.
us.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
but you
super help us.
so you
Yes.
still okay, so this is where I kind of give you the choice, right? Okay, since this is the information move, with your theater binoculars and looking closer, I'll say you do see a bit of just tiny specks of a white powder on her fingertips. And it is... It looks like part of plant matter. That's the word I'm looking for. I would say that the complication here is maybe not being able to determine what plant it is. How does that sound?
There's some kind of pollen on her fingers.
Can I check one thing?
Yeah. And I would say it's less pollen and more like a scraping of a flower. So like it's a little white.
Does it perhaps look opium-like?
No,
Opium
it's like
poppy
pulpy.
like?
It's like pulpy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Less strong.
there's
more
some kind of
plant.
there's some kind of muck on her fingers. I think it's a plant.
I did say powder, didn't I? That's on me.
Ezra's just very observant and just like soaking in just all of this information because, you know, obviously the coroner getting upset. Ezra is very observant. She could tell that he was, you know, until Mr. Skibbleshank. Did I say that right?
Skimbleshanks, yeah.
Okay, whatever. Until he came in, you know, she could tell like, oh, anger. So she's just observing everything and, you know, taking everything in. But you could see her like peeking over, you know, just to take little peeks and stuff because she wants to make sure that this isn't familiar to her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and it is not.
Okay.
And I will say he has pocketed his money and is looking at the door. You guys gotta wrap it up. Like, I appreciate this, but you gotta wrap it up. First of all, this is a little weird, but I got other bodies coming in. I'm gonna need these slabs.
Can I check one more thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get really close to her face and use like an instrument to open her mouth to see if there's any sores and see if there's any singed nose hair to tell if it's been ingested or breathed in poison.
Do you have a move for this?
Information.
I have 2 moves. That's it.
No, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and
Oh wait, I have the information move.
yeah. Okay, so go ahead and roll. I would say that one's probably also reason.
We'll roll my other dice because I just dropped. And 4 is no one judge me.
Okay.
9. 10. 10.
Finally. Thank you.
You saw it here first.
Yes.
Also, I'm loving my dice right now.
So... Okay. You find, so it doesn't look... It definitely doesn't belong. But I'll say you find, the remains of the, what's left of, what Dymphna found, under her fingers, which is a little tiny, flower. I say that, I don't know how big they are.
What flower exactly?
Did I get high enough to do that?
You did.
We can.
Okay, well, it's at least part of a flower because it's not a tiny flower. You would, for whatever reason, recognize this as oleander.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah.
Like I assume it's weird that people would recognize flowers.
Ooh.
Not necessarily. Yeah, not
Sorry.
necessarily weird, but like, I don't know your life.
I mean, I will admit I've never seen a white oleander. I have a pink one in the garden, but
Are the pink ones poisonous?
yes, which is why in the back of my garden behind a little gate that the dogs can't access.
That's smart.
Yeah. They're pretty though.
Okay. So, you said 10, right? I feel like that evens out. Gona.
Gona!
Do I have a... Oh, I do have a command. Look at that. Kind of have a command. Hello, sweet friends, sweet raiders. We were actually, to the surprise of my players, about to take a short break. We are currently playing a one-shot charity event of The Between, which is a gothic Victorian horror TTRPG written by Jason Cordova and published through the Gauntlet Words. And we are, for donations, giving away conditions to our players. We are removing conditions from our players. We are introducing Chaos Agent
Removing
Mr.
them.
Shanks.
Please help us with our rolls.
Please help us. We're doing so bad.
Statistically, it's not great.
No, it has been not great. Not even at all.
No. We're trying really hard though.
It's happening, is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to take a quick break because it's 1,000 degrees in this room, and some of us need to get some water and stretch and pet our pets. So thank you so much for swinging by. We will see you shortly. And am I forgetting anything? Too late. We're going to break.
Okay.
Bye.
See you all shortly. Hello and welcome back. Incredible work, y'all. Met our goal of $150 for Northwest Center. Thank you so much. Your contributions, I want to say, have helped the players so much. There's been a little help, a little bit. Some not so much help. I think is the more. Please. Oh Jesus. Okay. There's a cat behind my monitor. I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, nothing bad's gonna happen. Never.
So, I have up the. Oh my god! On my monitor, which is not.
Was that the incentive for meeting our goal?
Yeah.
Yes, is
Chaos Kitty.
Chaos Kitten. Should I rename you Skimbleshanks? You don't really look like a Skimbleshanks, but that's fine. Okay, we're just gonna have baby cat time, I guess.
No.
Where was I going with that? Yes, the fun doesn't stop. I am going to open a giveaway.
Oh.
Giveaway. Open.
Let's go.
For, go be a cat somewhere else.
Is it dice? Cats? Cats and dice?
I wish.
Free
It
cat?
is going to be I just can't remember if it like says in the command. It does not. Great. It is for a copy of The Between.
Yeah.
So enter by typing hashtag gothic into chat. This is open for anyone, anywhere. It is a PDF. PDFs?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you will just need to give me your email address, or an email address for DriveThruRPG. It's fine. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. Yes, incentives are still active. So if you want to inflict a condition on one of our players, a couple of them already have delightful conditions going on. If you want to clear up a condition, because I don't know if they'll have time to have any of those one-on-one conversations. Or clear a condition. Fine. You don't even have one. Or you can help them out with their terrible, terrible rolls. I'm not saying that we've had some pretty bad rolls lately, but we have. Just make sure to note in the comments what your plan for your donation is. If you would like it to help or hinder, if you would like it to
Help us, please.
help a specific player. So as a quick recap, the body of Clara Yarborough has been found without a face. Our intrepid party has gone to the mortuary, which is our SAT word of the day, and given it a little look over and have found some oleander. I'm going to say white oleander, just for the heck of it. Pretty much. You also discovered that there was a clean crime scene, all things told, and a little bit of rouge or blush left at the scene. You don't know if she was wearing any or not because you don't have her face. Oh, Toby. Why, Toby, why? It's hard having a bot. Okay. So, what else did you discover? That's about it. There's a whisper going around town, also printed like in bold on the newspapers, that this is reminiscent of the kind of children's horror story Sally No Face. But other than that, all of the notes you've seen, all of the newspaper articles you've read, all one of them, I guess, there's no like corporeal suspect. Gosh, I hope that was the word I was looking for. It was. Yeah, like non-legendary suspect.
Well, I suppose that it seems we've probably found all that we can here. Unless we want to ask the constable more, I suggest we move to the crime scene.
I feel like we're going to learn a lot more there than we are from body, you know.
Yes,
Can at least track
please,
them,
good.
footprints. Maybe find that flower? A flower? I never heard of anybody killing a person with a flower before, but, learn something new every day.
It's really quite easy. There's a lot of flowers you can use.
Plus, it's not uncommon for looks to kill.
Oh,
I'm sure you
You
know
just-
best.
you just have to get them to eat the flower.
Do we perhaps, before we move to the deceased abode / crime scene, whatever, inquire about the other 2 deaths? An Edward and a Dolly? If anything was found on them?
I'd want to know if they were eating flowers as well, and if they had rouge on.
They were
Yes,
covered in rouge.
Humble corner, we don't want to take any more of your time. I know you're sick of us already.
Yep.
But as we are leaving your wonderful workplace, we
Yep.
did hear about a pattern of these and was just wondering if you had any other information about those other 2 similarly contrived murders of an Edward and a Dolly.
Nope. Edward, kind of roughed up, but bit of a brawler. No face. Dolly, not roughed up. No face. Open cases. Still working on it.
So the exact information we already had. Wonderful. I think our time here is expired.
Yep, love that. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'm ready to go.
Oh, I'm gonna kind of be like backing like out, like ready to see what this next adventure holds.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the smell down here, it's a little and by little I mean it's a lot, and my breakfast suddenly doesn't agree with me, so let's get out of here.
I'm gonna pat Clara on the hand before we leave, and then not wash my hands because it's 1871 and germ theory is not out there yet.
Where's that educational tag?
Somehow we always end up education. I think you still want to wash your hands considering we found crushed oleander and we may not know about germs, but we know about poison.
There go my corpse-touched hands right to my mouth while I cough.
It was a pleasure knowing you, Dimphna. I need a new maid.
I heard a crashing. That was not part of the soundtrack. That's not great. I
Was
will
it
say
cats?
I am gonna retroactively add. I think Jen, on your investigation, those of you looking for poison, you would have seen like blackened veins. Let's just put that nail in that coffin.
Okay.
So
to
to speak. Wordplay. Yeah, are you headed to the...
Yeah, to the crime scene.
I'm gonna take one last look at the body and just feel emotions, I guess. I don't know how to explain. I'm just gonna take one last little look.
Sort of as I leave, pat Ezra on the shoulder in a sort of comforting way.
Thanks.
As we are departing towards the other scene, I kind of like while we're out of this office, as like we're on the streets, I go, it's a terrible story. What, Sally No Face? You all have heard the tale in the song, of course, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm sorry, did you say song?
Oh, well, yes, of course, Lucy. Have you not heard? I thought of all people you would be well acquainted with such tales.
Oh, I've heard some tall tales in my time, but a song I have not heard.
Oh, well, I mean, it's quite just a child's tune, but if you wish, I can regale you.
You know, you Europeans have very different tall tales here than we do back in the Americas.
Poor old Sally, trapped in a fire, her looks burned up without a trace. If you're lovely with fate most dire, she'll come and take your lovely face. That's it, just a simple tune.
Well, now, Lysander, don't you have a lovely voice?
Well, I do appreciate the praise as always, though a few centuries will do that to you.
You know, every time you drop that, it just surprises me every time.
Okay, most people just think it's a joke, and that's wonderful. It giggles me.
All right.
But maybe there's something to this fire bit. I don't know. Maybe there's something to this tall tale.
I'm just gonna kind of just like say, I'm just glad it's not recognizable to me. I'm glad it's not another one of me.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Sweeten, that you're very special, and I'm glad to have you around, but I don't know if we need more of you in haunting these parts.
Lucy, we don't use the word haunting when we're talking about the technically living.
It's just a turn of phrase. I'm sorry. I didn't
Roaming,
mean to offend anybody.
gracing, many other word choices you could have gone for there.
Ezra, I think if there were many of you, that would be fine.
No.
You aren't something to be ashamed of.
No.
No, but the fact that, you know, a fair amount of people have to die to make one orphan.
Are we going to the? Are we?
Sorry, Ezra, did not mean it like that. It's not on you. It's on your mom or dad or whatever.
What's
I'm
the
just
saying? It takes a village, right?
Yes, quite.
People die, miss.
I'm well aware.
You know,
Right.
I've heard that
Right.
phrase. I never thought about it like that before. And
Same.
well,
I
Nope.
I think we need to help Clara and these people. I think we need to figure out what happened. Thanks for the words and everything, but like, I guess let's just get back to it.
Honestly, words.
Then let us make haste.
you're right, Sweeten. Let's go.
I'll offer Ezra a hip flask while we're walking. You know, in case she wants more than words.
I'll just like, you said a flask, right?
Yep.
I'm just gonna smell it and just be like,
Smoke and alcohol.
uh-oh, kitty trouble back there?
And I was like, just fill the space while the DM herds cats that aren't us.
Okay.
No wonder he was such a good DM.
It's all the
Professional cat herder.
Yeah.
You all make your way to Clara Yarborough's flat, which between Dimphna and Ezra and just the knowledge in the coroner's report, essentially, whatever we're calling it, you're able to get there no problem. And what you see is a pretty small, cramped flat, like I said, full of washing. Who can describe it for me real quick in a little more detail?
Walls sort of peeling a little bit. You can hear sort of echoes of other people around, like the footsteps of children running through hallways. Sort of a damp, dank smell.
Yes.
Yeah, but clearly taken care of, right? Like, things are dusted. There's been an effort to keep things in their place. Like, this is someone who maybe took pride in her possessions. And there's maybe a couple, there's a couple bugs across the floor in a couple of places, but and a wooden stove that's clearly seen a lot of use.
Good, yes. I like that. And you don't There's no blood. I mean, there wasn't, it was just the face missing on the body, and apparently it didn't get too messy when they took her out. What are we looking for in here?
Signs of a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, whether or not someone was in here with Clara.
Like, is the door broken? Like, did someone kick down the door? Lockpick? Window open maybe? Like
2 cups used instead of 1 cup used.
Right.
If they knew who was doing this.
familiar or unfamiliar?
Okay, so who's gonna make the signs of a struggle investigation?
I'm gonna look at the door. I'll just go ahead and do the door.
I think Lysandra was looking for signs of a struggle, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, though I might. My friend Gwen, I believe that although my perception is wonderful with beauty, your reason is beyond my comprehension. Would you assist me?
Suck up.
I'm sorry, was that something, Rose?
It's the mildew.
Huh.
All that laundry. Normally, Dimfna only brings me dry things.
Terrible issue.
Mildew. I don't normally do laundry, but it would be my logical reasoning that if someone did laundry fairly regularly, they would have an idea of how to dry it quickly, particularly if they were doing a business. It seems odd that someone who does laundry this much wouldn't know how to dry laundry quickly. So I'm wondering, is that normal? Does anyone know if that's normal?
Out of character, in London, nothing dries. Like, everything is disgusting, foggy, Thames smog bullshit.
Okay.
If she didn't have keep her stove going, it would make sense that things would not dry. That's one of the ways that she made this a place where she could dry her work. If she died, then the stove wasn't kept up, and so they got mildewy.
Are there clothes hanging around? Okay.
I was muted, yeah.
No, I just wanted to check.
So, the way we'll do this is, for each, type of... So, signs of a struggle, one person will do that role. Anything generally out of place from, a washwoman's, perspective, someone can do that role, just to kind of, cut down on overlapping.
I was gonna check the door for lockpick, busted in, or no. You know how you maybe be able to tell
Oh yeah.
okay, I'm thinking Skyrim, the lock, there's some marks around the lock, or you look at the hinge and it's broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So,
And I may have been in her quarters before, so I might be the one to do the stuff out of place.
Okay. Ash, you're doing break-in. Luke,
Yeah.
you're doing struggle.
I am deferring to my friend Gwen about struggle because
Gwen is doing struggle. Dimfna is
my
doing
reason
outbursts.
is awful.
I just want to look for signs that of another person in here with her. But I'll go last.
Okay. So let's...
I'll go
Going
first.
through the door, yep. And you'll do the investigation.
I'll light my hooded lantern just to get some extra light in this sort of dank and dim apartment to try to get advantage on this roll. So marking my personal quarters item.
Yes. Good. Okay.
Ooh, I have a candle as well.
So I say you're doing the information move.
Okay, I was like,
Nope. I said an I word and just sort of went with it.
okay.
It's good because I rolled double once in my first roll. So.
And for the door, reason.
Yeah, I don't have anything for that. I got a 2.
How do you think this goes wrong for Ezra?
Okay. Sorry, that was out of character. In character. I was about to say I'm so pissed, but like Ezra has this unbelievable amount of strength, and while she is fidgeting with the door trying to take a look at it, she breaks the doorknob just completely off. And she just is holding the doorknob in her hands, and she's just so disappointed in herself, and just like goes inside of herself, and she's just like, you're a mess. You always break things, and you're worthless.
Can Lysander come over?
Y'all are being so nice to me.
Are you saying those things out loud?
No, that was in my head. Like, I'm looking at this doorknob like, you're a mess.
But it could stand to reason that Lysander would know that you're disappointed, yeah?
Oh, it's probably all over my face.
Oh, Ezra. You know, it's the wonderful gifts in life when unexpected points of our abilities surprise us, isn't it? It sometimes goes the wrong way, but at least you've learned something about yourself.
I'm just gonna hand him the doorknob.
Well done. We'll just try to kind of comfort her and put it back in.
And you'll see me kind of just like, kind of get in the corner a little bit. Still observing, always observing, but just like, waiting to see what the next thing is that we can find. Because obviously I failed miserably and I'm disappointed.
Baker, why don't you go next?
Yes. Do I describe what I'm looking for first?
Please, and thank you.
I'm going to walk around the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look for anything that, was she fairly clean? Did she, dust regularly?
Yeah, I'd say overall it's pretty clean.
Pretty clean? I'm gonna look for anything that's knocked over or that seems, or if there's any catches on the walls, because a lot of these walls were old, and so if you even bumped them or drug your nails across them, that you pull stuff out. And I'm also gonna look for under any furniture or anything like that for any buttons or I'm also particularly looking for any gags or bindings.
Okay. Go ahead and information move that.
Not great. +1. 8.
Okay. So you do find a clue. I would say that so you do see the spot of rouge or blush that the cops had noticed before. Any of you looking around, for anything probably would notice that. I would say you also you find under the table of all places the name Vittorio Clemenza.
Repeat that, Eva, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Vittorio Clemenza. some of you, since this is all sort of close to Hargrave House, some of you, any of you like involved in like fashion or tailoring, might recognize that name. I'll give you that for free.
As in, it's like a modiste or something?
Yes? Yes.
Nice.
I'm going to turn around and look at Rose and Lysander and say, you both wear a lot of makeup. Does anything particularly stand out about this rouge? Any smell that might be a signature scent, which was common back in London during that time, or a coloring that is particular to a certain creator?
I'll defer to Lysander. I'm all natural.
This looks like a garish salmon color. Not exactly a good shade, but I could check
Perhaps
it
if
out.
you have a very yellow undertone.
Yeah. Can I sort of do any sort of like, could I apply like presence here in the sense of like, being in with the scene of high society and knowing stuff like that? Or try to like connect anything to my experience with this rouge or this name?
Oh, let's say yes. Why not?
Okay. Is it the information move then, technically?
Yes.
Okay. That's going to be, unfortunately, just a 9, almost a 10.
Still works. Oh, and real quick, Baker, the complication for your clue was just that it was just the name. There's no context for it at all. As for you, the rouge is definitely, finer quality. Minimal arsenic. I would say it's not. I mean, there's no gender for it. It's just it's not like a grease paint or anything. You know, it's not like theater makeup or anything like that. It's just something someone with money would have access to.
And would it, like, is it assuming too much to say that a washerwoman might not be making that type of money? Or
yes.
Okay.
The complication is you can't narrow it down further than that.
It seems as though, despite the ugly choice of color, that this is quite well made. Similar to stuff that I've used in my day, though I'm not right sure exactly why, this Clara would have it. Though, perhaps she had a side way of making money, though this is usually those with too much to spend, if you know what I mean.
Or it was a gift.
This is like a smudge of rouge on a curtain or something. It's not like a pot of
Okay.
blush.
Yeah. It's like someone was wearing rouge and got caught on something.
Yeah.
Or it was a gift and then dipped it. Or she nicked it. That's it's been known to happen.
Does it have a smell?
Not really.
Okay.
Can I do my was there anyone else here thing?
I had a roll too that I did.
Yeah, let's
I want
do...
to.
Because Dimphna, yours was...
A 7. And it was, having been in the place before, if I see something that's different, like something different on the wall, or like different curios, or, you know, like
out of place, right?
Yeah, but like out of place from the perspective of like knowing how she decorated before and that kind of thing.
Yes. So for you, your complication is going to be that the cough is really distracting you, and it's hard to remember exactly what was where. She there's nothing. If you're digging around, there used to be a stack of letters on a little side table that had been there a couple times when you were there, and they're no longer there. But that's about it.
Got it.
And Rose, my darling, what are you looking for?
Oh god. I apologize in advance if I roll badly.
Are you
Rose is
kidding me?
finding
I just
this...
rolled a 2.
Yep. So here's the thing. Rose is finding all of this information gathering to be incredibly pedestrian, very focused on the now, and very inefficient. Dimphna, I need my bag, please. The one with the rodents.
I have it right here.
Perfect. Fetch me a white rat.
All right, miss. And she opens the thing and tries to...
A plump one. A plump one.
It's a plump white rat. Yes, miss.
Today...
Ezra probably wouldn't like this very much.
I have one right here, miss.
Wonderful. Rose will take the rat, and in the interest of brevity, ritually sacrifice said rat to use the rites of salt and smoke, contacting the dark entities, and I will hopefully roll well, because otherwise this is going to suck so hard.
I'm so excited.
I mean, I'm excited too. It's. Oh no! Wait, I have pluses to sensitivity.
Enough to help you?
Yes, enough to make it an 11.
Ooh, that wouldn't have been so bad.
Oh, you haven't read my move.
Yes, I have.
I mean, I'll take 11. It works without further cost. I was moderately worried about the cost here, but I will choose the effect observe another time, and I would like to watch this room at the time of Clara's death, please.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Because this is taking too long. I'm sorry.
Perfect. Okay.
Wow. You'll have to forgive the rat splatter.
I am very much trying to hold composure.
Otherwise focused.
Yes.
Rose is basically doing this ritual with the same amount of care and precision and lack of empathy that she applies to a tea ceremony.
Lucky is watching this with a keen interest.
So,
as soon as the rat was brought up, yeah.
how does this look
nice
to
plump
everyone
one.
else? Do they get to see? Is it like a shadow recreation, or are you seeing this in your mind's eye?
I think for other people it would be a little more like shadow theater, but I'm the one who gets all the details, but I can't pretend to the rest that nothing is happening. This isn't a sneaky thing to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just cut up a rat, so we know something's happening.
And this is the rites of salt and smoke, Rose?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Which is a very good name.
I chose blood sacrifice as the kind of offering it requires.
You see...
Hence the bag of rats.
You see, Clara, so many names. You see Clara back to the door, working on some washing. This is all silent, I think, because
it says observe. It says observe another place or time, and I chose time. So whatever observe means to you as the keeper, I am perfectly okay with. I mean, if it takes 2 rats to get sound, I have more rats.
If you want to roll again, I'm happy to let you.
Dimphna is holding more rats.
It's just one in each hand,
bag is sort of moving around. There's little
Like, how many rats are we talking?
I'm happy to do this without a second rat, but if you want sound and want to roll again to risk another rat for sound, I'm happy to do so. You'll still get your first observation.
I'll still get my first one, but I might also get the complication.
Yeah. You might also get sound.
I might also get sound. And then again, I had an 11. How much better is it going to get with a +2?
And like, are we
No,
gonna
you know
be
what?
able?
Fuck it. Yeah, no, we're getting out the second rat. There's always the Janus mask. Like
Always.
risk a little.
True.
I need to know what happened.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll pull out a second rat for the surround sound.
Surround sound. I'm just like looking at Dimphna, like
When I assigned your conditions, I had no idea, by the way.
yeah.
I'll
they're
pat
okay.
Ezra on the shoulders. It's a thing she does. It's a thing she does. It's
Okay.
You can turn away if you need to.
Okay, rolling. I have a +2. These dice haven't filled me yet. They better not fill me now.
No time like the present.
No time like the present. It's another 11. I can't stop rolling 9s apparently.
That's
Love that for you. Tell me what that feels like.
Give me your address and I will send you dice.
Okay. So, you now have sound.
Sorry.
The vision hadn't even started yet, but you now have.
I like how the vision starts and you just sort of press pause, decapitate another rat, and then just like the sound bar comes up, or you're okay. Now, okay, go.
Okay.
Yes.
So for some of you, depending on where you are in the room, you see shadows start to form. Just sort of like dust gathers and darkens into shapes. One of the shapes is very clearly a person doing some washing. Logic would dictate it's probably Clara, but whatever. Rose, you see this all like you were there. The edges are a little fuzzy, but other than that, you can tell she was very beautiful. All the steam and whatever awful chemicals she's using to wash all these things just not touching her face somehow. She is washing. She's humming to herself. She's lucky she's beautiful because her humming is not great, but it's very enthusiastic and very charming in its own way. And the door opens behind her. Very quietly. And there is a figure dressed in a white coat, much cleaner than the morticians. Mortuary workers?
Mortician?
Mortician? The coroner? And it's a bit longer than that coat as well. Black gloves, and a wooden mask. So everyone else, Rose sees this in perfect clarity. Everyone else just sees, again, that like shadowy, diaphanous, dark motes kind of filling out this figure. It's all very silhouette-y. And they step forward, and kind of in the back of the neck, they come up right behind her, hand over the mouth, and inject her with something. As they do that, you can see, so they've got the syringe is the word I'm looking for. They've got just one beautiful, like almost symbolic sprig of that oleander flower that you found on her. But she does pull her hand up a little bit. Not enough to fight. She sinks almost immediately to the ground. And you just kind of, they roll her over. Face that absolutely expressionless mask. It is sort of a white wood. It's hard to tell if it's painted or if it's natural. The rest of you can't really, all you can tell is that there's like a hard feature, like nothing's moving on the face. And then he sets to work. They pull out a scalpel and just, it takes a while. They clean as they go. You can see them very carefully and with great care remove the face, put it into a little case that they then put into their bag, and they step away to check the window. And all of this they do in silence. I'm sorry to the second rat.
At least I got to hear the humming.
And they brush up against the curtains, and with the back of their gloved hand. And that tracks with where the rouge is.
But there was no rouge on that whitish wooden mask.
Not on the mask, no. Apparently satisfied with what they see, they skedaddle.
And were they like fairly tall or perfectly regular height, surprisingly short?
They were average build, on the leaner side. Not, but yeah, average height. I'm trying to remember. I mean, whatever it would be for Victorian England.
Considerably shorter than we are now. Okay. I'll as I come out of this vision, I will turn around and hand the rats back to Dimfna for disposal, of course. Don't make that face. We might need some more blood later.
Wait. How are the rats looking?
Dead.
Like, yes, dead, but like...
Exsanguinated.
Are they like mostly still intact though, as far as like...
Oh, yes. No, I only need the blood. Do you want them?
I'll take one of them if you wouldn't mind, thanks.
No, sure. I mean, I'll burn the other one, but you can have one, sure.
Thanks.
You want a leftover dead rat?
Yes.
There we go with the southern accent. Dead rat.
Do you want the vision one or the sound one?
Does it matter?
I don't know. I don't know what you're using them for.
It doesn't matter to me.
A rash is a rash. Here you go.
Thanks, Tim.
I'm just like,
You keep the other one. We're going to want to salt it and burn it. Anyway,
I sort of
average
step it away
person.
for when we're actually. So where are we right now, friends? Just for. Sorry, I was a little out of it there. The headache.
We are in Clara's flat. I get it. It's very strange when we summon dark entities. We're in Clara's flat. There was a lot of befuddled looking around by our fellow hunters drawing all sorts of possibly erroneous conclusions, and I decided to speed things along by sacrificing some rats and a piece of my soul, and getting the dark entities involved with getting things back on track. Anyway, person, tall-ish, no, average, I should say average. They were not that tall, but the white coat they were wearing was a long black gloves, wooden mask, had no rouge on the mask, but apparently some of their hands took their time doing what they were doing. Injected Clara in the back of the neck, so there was no sneaky trying to feed someone flower business. And a very, very quiet worker. Very quiet. Apologies to the second rat.
Would I have I would have seen him them. Sorry.
Them.
Carving the face.
Question?
Right.
Yeah,
I would have seen.
You see the shadow puppety.
Right. Okay.
Shadow puppety.
Yeah. That would have probably angered me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can I walk over to the window and just see what the area that they would have looked out at?
Mm-hmm. It is, this is one step up from a tenement house. It is, I would say, very lower class. There's the street, and then there's more, row houses maybe across the street. A lot of people kind of kicking about. You don't see any constables or there's more brawlers. If someone got out of line, you're gonna have other people around policing their actions rather than anything even approaching official.
Okay.
And yes.
I need Dimphna to hand me a wet towel. There's rat blood.
I did send a letter to someone to try and get some information who knows about that cult. Do you mind if we stop back at the house to see if they've replied yet?
I'm looking at the keeper.
I'm looking at everyone.
Oh, sure.
There was a lot of... The keeper was going...
Yeah, no, I was... Yes.
Yeah, oh,
perfect.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. That'd be great, actually.
Yeah.
No
Stop by the
ideas
house,
for me.
then go see Vittorio?
If we can figure out where they are, yes.
Vittorio will be in their shop making wonderful, wonderful frocks, of course.
Well, then, that is where we shall go next.
As we're leaving the room, Ezra's just gonna pause and just look in the room. Look around. And you can tell there's some sorrow and just mourning. And then follow the rest of them out.
As
Rose will hand Ezra a different flask.
I'm just gonna smell it again.
Water.
Mm.
Very cold, very chill water.
I'll drink it.
I'll come back with you later if you want, and we'll put a flower.
I would love to do that. Would love to do that.
As you turn away from the room, through the window, on the street, you can hear children in a round singing the Sally No Face song.
Of course, it's... Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, kids. Woo. Kids and horror
Ugh.
stuff. Go so
Ugh.
well together.
Children in general.
I think I liked it better when you were singing it, Lysander.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't exactly have good chorus training, and who can fault them?
Do we pass
Also,
them
they're
by
just
on the road?
inherently terrifying.
Jen, what was that?
Do we pass them by on the road?
You could if you like.
So as we pass them, I'll be respectful of what happened here.
Oh,
Rose, you should scare him. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, man.
Find a different song to sing. I didn't expect you to come up with it. I wasn't like, sing a different song right now.
Sing a different song or the rat gets it.
And since I'm with you, Dimfna, I'm kind of like, just like kind of hiding my face. Because kids are ruthless and I don't want them to see me.
Oh, they are. They're so taken aback by, like, even being, chastised at all, that they just sort of, like, turn and, like, run down the alley.
Good riddance to ya, disrespectful children.
I just snarl at him.
Before the last one disappears, they make a very rude gesture. That is time appropriate and location appropriate.
I know your parents.
Oh, that is the most Irish threat I've ever heard. I know your mother.
All right. So back at Hargrave House. Guinevere, had you sent this request when you first saw the newspaper, or are you sending it now?
No, this was the one I sent while Rose was getting ready.
Yes.
But I didn't want to interrupt what Rose was doing.
You do find a reply waiting for you.
I have it here. I can describe it if you want.
Perfect. Yes.
Because you sent it to me. I go and I open up a package and I find some pages of a torn out children's book, and it's that same song that Lysander.
Sorry.
And the God of Sun from D&D. So, and what interests me the most is I kind of set the pages aside because we know the song already, but I open up this gold emboss card inviting me to an extraordinary new exhibit of art and medicine, but there is no address or a date given. So at some point I'd like to investigate the card and hand it around and see if anyone knows anything.
Let's do it this way.
I'll probably smell it.
It smells pretty nice. It's a warm smell. I wouldn't say comforting, but it is,
I think specifically chemically. A chemically smell. Because I would notice those smells probably more than any other.
Okay. We will say, this next roll, which will, thanks to I'm a T-Rex, be either +1 or -1, whichever you think is more interesting narratively. To investigate the card. Because I'd like to only have one person do it for time purposes. Who would like to do that?
If no one...
I don't think it's Rose's thing.
I can do it if no one in particular wants to.
I can do it as well, because that's probably, smell.
Depends on whose nose they put in you, really.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
True.
Just say your nose used to belong to a super smeller and get, like, sweet advantage from Eva.
Yeah. I wish I could. We'll see what the
I'm
dice
just saying
say.
it smells nice.
There's
I'm
a-
not saying the smell is a clue. Like, I'm just giving you, like,
Okay.
a descriptor of...
There's
Okay.
an offer of a +1 in chat from a donation.
Or -1 if it's more fun.
Yep.
Yes.
Dimfna's busy refilling my bag.
Yes. By refilling, do you mean additional rats?
And a few other things. I'll app you.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
I have little rat traps that I empty
Oh,
regularly.
I assume we're like Hargrave House's rat catchers for reasons.
Mm.
Ezra,
Gwen, I can't think of anyone more qualified than you.
All right. Ezra, you good with that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a damn good choice because I just got 12. 13
Hell
after,
yeah.
since I have a +1.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So, since a -1 isn't going to impact that and you can't get a +1, let's hold that for the next roll.
Oh no, I mean since
the
investigation
+1 is...
crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, so you're informationing, right? You don't have another move on top of that?
Let me... Yeah, because I can't see why I'd be afraid of anything in order to use, like, the day move.
Okay. You find... So it's a beautifully embossed card, but you find between the engravings and the... Actually, no, you get to narrate your success.
Oh, no.
I've been forgetting that. You get to, yeah. I will tell you your clue, which is you find time, date, location. But how does this look? Like, what?
So I open the card and I start to examine it closer and I start looking at the emboss on it and I realize that the embosses are different like clues in picture form. So I see like a relatively famous art house that is known for holding like, I see its outline kind of done there, plus like in the swirls next to it is the symbol of the art house. And then I see like a moon, like a half moon, and hands pointing to midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And so date and time and location, right?
Yep.
And then I see the numeromans, the words for tonight.
Perfect. I will also say that your mastermind clue, which, excuse me, isn't really going to come into play so much today because, one shot. But there is also very faded, just the lightest trace of a watermark with a death's head moth on it. What that means to be determined later for y'all, or anyone who wants to come back. Just assuming we want to play this again.
Lady, I would hand the card to, I'm going to say Lysander again because now I can't think of anything else. Lie. I'm going to hand the card to Lie and point to the deadhead moth and be like, apparently, this is bad.
Can I do some sort of, I mean, if it's not helpful narratively right now to try to identify the moth kind of thing, we don't have to go into it. But could that be something that I quickly try to scope out or help identify what this could be connected to?
Put like an asterisk because it would be for like an overall like big capital B plot. And we're just doing like one
Sure.
threat today.
But I guess, is there anything that knowing like that sort of big information would help us in our immediate thing, or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I've run into quite a lot of marks in my day, though this one is not one that sees the sun very often. Perhaps we will run into this again, but perhaps a secondary objective.
Perfect. I will say, for the sake of time, you know I hate railroading. You know I love chaos and just letting you all go off and do whatever. I am going to shift us into dusk, and just assume that the art house is your next probable objective.
Yep. I have a move here.
Yes. So this is the point where if you have anything in your playbook that says it kind of, hi baby puppy, anything that resolves at dusk, now is the time. I like how I did that big shift right while you were getting back in, Ash. So we're into the dusk phase. This is sort of a planning out what you're going to do. You have a serial killer, stealing faces, obsessed with beauty. Your contact has told you about the art house, or sent you an invitation thereof for some reason.
And we know who the contact is.
That is up to
Like, that's not a clue.
Oh, no. I explained that my contact is a prominent member, is the prominent member, foremost scholar on occult and paranormal.
Okay. Sorry I missed that.
I didn't say that. He is part of the Royals Explorers Club.
It was just Gwynny not sharing again.
I mean, it seems pointless sometimes.
Because
You're dealing with a paranoid lot. It's better to overshare.
my dusk phase additional move is that I learn something interesting about an active threat, and I can ask any question I like. For the keeper, you can answer truthfully and completely, or in the form of a clue. But I lost my question now, so I'll take a second and think about it.
It's fine. We'll deal with the oh no face Lady Dame was making.
I was about to say, I think Lady
That
Dave's
was a
got something
look.
to share with us.
That was a look.
You good, LD?
Oh no. Oh no.
Didn't see what's coming.
Oh,
Say it. Say it.
so what's gonna happen is as the dusk turns, as it starts to go into dusk, Lucky's features start to shift a little bit.
Why are you always a werewolf?
Always. Because it's me. The teeth and nails grow a little bit longer, becoming more like fangs. The hair becomes wilder. The hair on her arms starts to get thicker and a little bushier. And like there's a glow in her eyes, and it's not one that looks to be in control. Period.
Joy.
I rolled a 4 for the quickening, y'all.
Oh, no.
So Lucky, as this is happening, Lucky's gonna reach out to, who's it gonna be?
Oh boy.
Probably Lysander. Yeah, it's gonna be hey.
How do you approach?
And Lysander would see these changes start to take place.
Has Lysander seen these before?
Probably not.
I will point out we have the Janus mask if you want to unwearable.
But it's so
is
fun
so much
to
more
wear
fun.
wolf.
Yeah.
I know. We also have like 10 minutes left in the session.
I know.
Oh,
An hour and 10 minutes at best.
Hey.
You know what? I said I wasn't going to use the Janus mask the last time, but I think this would be the one time that she would use the. Oh, it's so hard because I love to werewolf, but I forgot about it. You're right. I think
well, part of the use of the Janus mask is just telling what would have happened. So if you
You're
want,
still a werewolf in a different timeline.
Yeah.
Right. So in that previous timeline, Lucky would have gone up, and in a really rough voice, Lysander. So when it turns to dark, things go real bad, and tonight is one of those nights where it's going to go real bad. So I need you to watch out for me and make sure I don't do something stupid. You understand?
I do. In fact, I think I have the perfect thing.
Do you understand?
How do you feel about confined spaces? And he would have led you to a really strange, applicable cage in his room from ancient Roman times that was used as a torture device. That would have just kept you in a wrought iron, I guess bronze probably, cage. But that didn't happen.
Right. And in that case, Lysander would have had to stick with Lucky throughout the rest of the night and been unable to narrate or trigger moves.
Right. I would have been in babysitter mode.
Correct. Been in babysitter mode, but with the Janus mask. Does that make it just a full success? Is that how that works?
It goes up one level.
Oh, yeah, it goes
Oh,
up.
it goes up one level. Okay, so
partial.
You still have a complication, but you're
Yes.
not like
I
entirely
do
fucked.
manage to keep the quickening in check, but just barely. So
Yeah.
then I will take the drained condition.
Perfect.
I have my question when there's a chance.
Real quick, Ash, what did you decide your vice was?
You're muted.
Breaking things. Sorry.
Like doorknobs.
Yeah, so
Hearts.
actually, I would say you and Lysander did have sort of a private moment earlier. If you did want to clear a condition. I'll leave which one it is up to you.
Ooh. You want me to message it to you, or?
Yeah, sure. And then I believe you tell us, LD, real quick before we get to Jen, what question you're answering.
I'm answering a question. Oh.
Yeah, gotta use that mask.
Oh, shoot.
They're all really good questions.
And they are.
If you want to think about it real quick, we can go and I can answer Jen's question.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there like a list of questions?
They're in your playbook.
On your character sheet,
On my play.
I think this is Mask of the Past, right? Not Mask of
Yes.
the Future.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
so
Oh,
you take
yeah,
one of the Mask of the Past.
Yeah.
Actually, you have to start with the first unmarked box. You don't even.
Oh,
have to
that's
pick.
what it
You
is.
just,
Gotcha.
You start at the top.
Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. You meditate on that. Jen, question.
In the middle of taking rats out of the traps and throwing them in the bag, and grabbing random things in Rose's quarters, I want to say that Dimphna ducks into her own quarters, and whenever she goes to her quarters, she tells everybody she's reading the Bible, but she actually has a couple of smutty dime novels in her room,
Yep.
and she
Perfect.
pulls out from it. I want to say the last time she visited Clara she nicked one of the letters off the desk. So, because my question, there's no roll for it. You learn something interesting about an active threat. So what's in that letter? Is that allowable?
I'll say why not. Based on this one letter, it appears it is addressed to her. And it appears she was having a flirtation with a local doctor. I'm not going to go through like the whole letter.
Gotcha. You're not going to narrate it like on the spot, like the whole. I'm disappointed.
Dearest Clara, it's been ages since I've seen you. My surgery is so empty without you. Yep, thanks, I hate it.
That was well done. That was great. I loved
Is
it.
this like "Don't wash, I'll see you in 3 weeks" levels of smiley letters, or
Yes, it's very Napoleonic.
yeah?
Would
there we
it
go.
would it happen to be signed by a Vittorio Clemenza?
No, he is a tailor, not a surgeon.
Okay.
It's signed Gregory. No last name. Weirdly. I'm sure that's probably highly inappropriate, but there we are. Lucky.
As Lucky struggles to maintain control over this changed, slightly altered form, she reaches down into. She flashes back to her childhood, and in this sort of image, there's a little girl in a very, very frilly white dress, spotless. Lucky's hair is sort of these wild mass of ginger curls. The little girl's hair is blonde and neatly ringleted, tied up with a big bow. And she is playing outside of a beautiful brick building. Just like little iron off gated fence that leads right onto the street. You get the idea that this is like kind of a bigger city, but she's definitely in a really nice part of the neighborhood, like a very nice part of the neighborhood. Like she actually has a little bit of a yard. There's elaborate decorations on the fence and window, and she's playing with a beautiful, beautiful porcelain doll. There's like, and a tiny, tiny white fluffy dog. And as she's playing, there's a man who walks by in like very ragged clothes, who sort of comes up to the fence and says, "Hey, do you think you can spare anything? Food? It's been a long time." And she just kind of stares at him, and immediately this sort of woman dressed in black and white with a little maid cap comes rushing out to grab her and drag her inside. And she's given some hot chocolate and sort of given a lecture about talking to people and talking to people who look like that, because we don't associate with those people. Yes, darling, they are below us. They don't work as hard as our family does. Absolutely not. You are better than that. You are destined for greatness. But not in an English accent. More of that like mid-Atlantic, half English kind of accent situation. Yes, you're right. We don't talk like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Harvard. Have I left anything unanswered at this point? Has everyone...
I think that's it.
Oh dear. Does anyone have any playbook moves or anything that needs to be resolved in this phase that has not yet been addressed? Okay. So, before we shift into the night phase, you are going to, as succinctly as possible, we're going to go down the list. Just to make things easy, I'm going to go in overlay order. Go ahead and tell us what your character will be doing in the upcoming night phase. This really could be anything, but I'm assuming that you're going to be investigating this art house. If you're not, like, I guess that's fine too. There is a consequence to that, of course. But you can do whatever you want. It's fine. You do get, once everyone has said what their plan is, you do get a chance to make a quick one quick addendum to what you said in case someone else has, like, said something that changes your mind. How does that sound?
Seems fair.
Do we mind going? Anniek, are you good going first?
I'm good.
All right. Let's hear it.
I mean, I don't have any dusk moves, so while Lucy's freaking out, I'm just getting ready for the evening, getting my bag set. I do intend to join in investigating this art house. I might want to do one more tarot reading, either on the way there or there. And depending, like, how early in the night we're done, I'm either gonna see if, like, Lysandra is up for some fun, or if I need to find someone else who's up for some fun. But, you know, at some point after this investigation, I'm gonna want to unwind.
I'm sure regardless of how early in the evening or early in the morning it is, someone or something will be around.
Exactly. I mean, Lysandra's gorgeous, so it's worth a try. But if that doesn't happen, surely we can find someone else. Or something else, if we're going to be perfectly honest.
Just kidding.
She considers you more of, like, a ward than a potential partner. Dimfa's just a big no. Gwen and Lucy are not out of the question. But no, I'm sorry. She's just in no way, shape, or form attracted to Ezra. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna happen.
No one is. It's okay.
I'm sure someone will be, but for me, for Rose, it's just too much of a creepy young person to take care of. And as much as I love creepy, it's the taking care of part that gets in the way.
Absolutely, I agree.
I love creepy, but it's just, no.
Right, I agree. Is it my turn then, I guess?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I don't have any dusk moves either. I was, like, looking through the book. I was like, what is happening? So I'm just gonna talk, and then if you have any questions, you can ask. But Ezra likes to read a lot. So she probably snuck away just to, like, read, you know, and she probably has a book somewhere about, like, parties and, like, get-togethers and, like, going to fancy places. And she remembers that Rose gave her a dress with lots of cleavage. And just because Ezra is still, you know, kind of unsure and, like, learning still, she thinks that this is what she needs to wear to go to this event. So she's going to change. And, you know, still hiding the big scar, but cleans herself up and heads back upstairs with full intention on joining them on the next step in the case.
In Rose's defense, all the dresses are absolutely skimming the edge, but they are socially acceptable.
Okay. And you would, and, like,
Fairly, but
right,
they are.
Right. For a little bit of context, the audience would see scarring. scarring, absolute just scarring. But the one on her face bothers her the most, so she covers it.
I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to attach my saber to my belt. I'm going to grab a night cloak, and when everyone leaves, I will go to the art museum with them. I will look through the artists that are showing their art and see if I recognize any of the faces or any rouge that might have been used on a paint, or in general the people that are there. And then if I find out who it is in the name of the queen, I will end their life, because that is the most prompt way to deal with it, and it shouldn't cost the queen or the crown any money to deal with scum.
Fair enough. Speaking of queen and country, our Irish Dymphna.
I don't truck with the crown here in England, but out of desire for my employer to have the best chance of being the one to successfully solve this mystery, and also because I knew Clara, and I want the lower class victims of this serial killer to get their day of justice. I actually will take from under my dress a saint's medal, and I'll put that in Rose's bag as something to potentially use in rituals. And other than that, I think Dymphna's goal is to go and get the lowdown from the other servants at this event, of which I'm sure there are many, about a possible relationship between who this Gregory fellow is and Clara, and what kind of person Gregory is, and why he might be going after our folks.
Sounds reasonable. Lucky?
Lucky, before the event, will get ready, and one of those things that she does to get ready, I mean, she cleans her guns, make sure everything is loaded correctly and strapped down. She also takes the rat that she got from Dymphna and Rose, and consumes it, like in the secret of her own room, most likely. Yes. No cooking it or anything, just straight up eats it. And doing her best to clean off her face. Might still be a little bit like that she missed. There's, again, some excess body hair that she didn't have before, and she's not necessarily as looking as kempt as she normally does, which, let's be real, she doesn't look all that kempt. She doesn't look all that well kept to begin with. So but if Lucky sort of sees herself as the bodyguard for when the group goes out, or that's sort of like her self-assigned task, given that she doesn't have much interest in investigating or book learning or any of that. So she just prepares. And if Rose is looking to have a little fun, she might join Rose for a little fun. But she's sort of like gearing up to be the tough behind everybody.
You might want to DM Anniek that, since she had to step away.
Oh, well, do.
just for context. And that brings us to Luke.
Well, Lysander has some errands to run, and he's going to basically he takes out his ledger of all his sycophants, and for the audience unaware, being an immensely beautiful immortal being comes with a cult of his own fandom and fanatics, and he's going to look through all of his sycophants that are involved with the art scene in London, and basically through couriers and such, send out messages to them saying to keep an eye out for this type of rouge, the mention of Vittorio Clemenza, any mention of the victim or all three of the victims. Basically, keep a sharp eye out, and you are to come to me immediately at the art thing if you find anything. And I'd like to use a move, which is Giveth, which says that at any time I can declare that a side character is secretly one of my worshippers. Mm-hmm. And I would like to say that the leader of the art gallery, whose name is Cremidius Lefeur, is one of my sycophants. And wow, what a serendipitous occasion. And basically, I want to extend the same kind of thing to him, but I also want to have everyone that works or is running this art show to have the same level of an eye out, and potentially apprehend anyone that would be suspicious amongst this crowd.
All right. You don't need to roll for that, right?
I have to scar my reflection, but we haven't gotten much into that, and that is more of a if things happen down the road. But yeah, no, I do not have to.
Okay.
And I also mentioned the thing in the chat that the quill pin that has the hidden switchblade that will be coming with me as well.
Hearing all of that, does anyone have anything that they want to tweak about their own actions?
I do have a hair with the I do have an accessory that has some hidden daggers situation, like it's a little tiny knife situation that goes into my hair that Perfect. I had in my personal quarters as well.
I did notice in chat, but I'll say it out loud for anyone watching as well. I learned my lesson a long time ago, and all of my items are in a bag being carried by another person. I am, in fact, also self-sufficient. And I think, considering we're going to the art house, I'll wear the white embroidered shawl that look like flowers from a distance. Seems like a fitting garment. I will be leaving my crystal.
Okay. Do you want to tell us what they look like up close?
Well, up close they look like faces in pain.
Naturally.
Which is why I like this shawl so much.
You're welcome, everybody.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Two things.
And I'll tuck a little note in my wrist glove thing. Yes, there are gloves in Victorian England. I'll tuck a little note in there.
Yeah, gloves exist. They're a thing.
I hate them, but sure, they're a thing.
So two things. Because this is a one-shot, we are going to be skipping over the unseen part of the game. As
the saddest of faces, but I get it.
Much as I love it and want it, time. And I thought there was something else I needed to give a heads up on.
Death? Murder?
No. I suppose that's probably it. Okay. You find yourselves at the art house. It is... It's a... Well, let's have... Who hasn't described anything for me in a while? Luke, go ahead and describe to me the art house, to us.
Okay. The art house is on a corner of kind of like side street, maybe 1 or 2 blocks off of a main kind of thoroughfare. And it kind of opens to the public on the corner, almost like in a theater sort of way. And inside, it's almost like a warehouse kind of large sweeping ceilings with kind of like very primitive wooden floor that squeaks everywhere. It's got kind of large galleries separated by just wooden walls that have been placed after the fact. And there are kind of like curtains of satin and velvet that encompass the exhibits, which kind of have a, like, you know, kind of like a museum style, like you walk through and you see it, and then you walk through and it's another one, and it's stall by stall. And through, like, after half of that, there's like a central area of like a possible like bar situation, and also just a place to sit. And then there's a stair up to kind of a loft on the very top of it, that is usually employees, and doesn't have any exhibits.
Excellent. As you all arrive, you might notice, I will leave this to your personal character discretion. It's not necessarily the group of people that you would expect. I mean, there are definitely a lot of middle to upper class people that you would kind of expect to be like art connoisseurs or collectors, but there's also a few like noticeably lower class people as well. Like, you know, they've cleaned up, they're trying hard to fit in, but they are in their own ways all very beautiful people. And definitely not in an objective beauty sort of way, but there is something about everybody that is striking. As you... No, go ahead.
They have very beautiful faces.
Yes.
Are they all definitely for certain their own?
Yes.
Or are there like little...
They're their own faces.
Okay, so it's the supply, not the demand.
Lady Gwen, when she notices this, is going to like wave at Lysander and be like, I think you should stay close to someone all night.
Oh, I love staying close to people. All sorts of them.
Well, how about stay close to only us?
Really? That's no fun, but fine.
Oh, please. We have a date later. Stay
Yes,
close now.
That's exactly why I wanted to get my kicks in before, but you know, if we have to go...
Are you saying I'm not enough for one night?
I'm just saying...
I will have words with you.
That's fine. There's plenty of art around, and it's not just the exhibits. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna feel very uncomfortable.
Because
not
of their
not
bickering?
them. Not them. Because I am not beautiful.
Hot mom and hot dad are bickering, and it's awkward.
But also, I'm not pretty. Like, you know, I don't see myself in that way.
Right. This would be very uncomfortable for you because regardless of what other people see and view you as, internally...
Right. Absolutely.
This is absolutely a rejection of you.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm sorry.
Can I...
Oh my god, it's okay.
Can Lucky sort of gently touches Ezra's shoulder And Ezra, you would see like Lucky's face has changed, and like again, like there's something that's different. It's shifted a little bit. It looks not like how you're used to seeing Lucky look. Don't let them see you're afraid, darling.
And I'm just gonna
You and me, we got this.
like caress your face a little bit and just like nod. Because I'm gonna notice that there's like a difference. Because I'm good at that.
Mhm.
Very observant. And I'll just rub your face very gently and just
There you
nod.
go. All right, Sweeten, you got this. What is this accent? I have no idea, but there we go.
I love it.
Thank you.
It's your
Werewolf.
American Werewolf in London accent.
There you go.
Mhm.
God, I love that movie. Sorry.
Are all the servants similarly aesthetic, or do they blend into the background?
They are. They are dressed simply, to blend in as servants are sort of supposed to, but they are still definitely visually on par. And again, this is for whatever feature, everyone is beautiful in their own way, but there is just something striking about them in some manner. Lysander, your Chromidius appears a little out of breath and a little worried. Sir,
Good to see you, Chromidius.
yes, sir, honor, as always.
Please.
And he'll, reach out to, kiss your ring or whatever you're accustomed.
Please do hurry it up. I do appreciate the pomp and circumstance, but we do have a thing to find.
Yes, about... Tonight is very odd, sir. We have a new exhibition, which is very exciting. Very new artists. We don't know anything about them. Everything's been kind of hush-hush, which is why I wanted to find you. Everything's very strange. We're under strict instructions for revealing the exhibits. I don't know what half of them are. But you understand the money is very good. And some of this is very avant-garde. And as they're speaking, there is the clock chimes the hour. 11? Is that what you said, Baker?
I think she said midnight, but it doesn't matter.
Midnight. It strikes the appointed hour, and one of the servants steps forward and draws one of the blinds back, and there is intricately carved, gorgeous marble statue with raw stone where the face should be. You see what I mean? This has never been seen before. Who does this? It's incredible, really.
I'm sorry, who did you say set up these exhibits that were unexpected?
Anonymous. Completely anonymous. That's the marvelous
Anonymous?
thing. Yes.
You run this art house, do you not? And this
Yes.
is anonymous to you?
Absolutely avant-garde. We're trying something new, but you wanted to know anything out of the ordinary, and this is it. This is out of the ordinary.
Well, would you allow us to view the others before they are revealed?
Oh, everything's kind of on a countdown now. I don't know if there's anything I can do. And as he's speaking, another curtain comes down, and it is instead of a marble statue, now this one's up against the wall, and it is a very large, finely painted portrait of a woman. But it, after the original painting dried, someone has gone on and in white kind of circled different areas and drawn like notes about what's wrong and where the flaws are. One person did all this. Who could imagine?
I must say, I'm somewhat disappointed in the hopes that I would find more information from your people here, but in return, as we handle this internally, I need you to guard any exit of this place, because, and I lean in to whisper, I'm pretty sure whoever's responsible for these, we're investigating a murder, and going after all of them.
At the art house?
Not at the art house, somewhere else, but it might happen tonight. And that's why I need you and all your people to be on your guard. Do you understand?
Oh, yes. He snaps, and one of the, attendants who has already like dropped their part of the curtains, comes over, and they have a hushed, hurried conversation. And there's kind of like a chain reaction where like, you can see people going off to different places. There is, from further back in the building, the hall, I guess, a string quartet is playing. There's murmurs of astonishment as people have started to like wander around and look at these exhibitions. And
that portrait that was just unveiled of a woman with like marked flaws, does the style in any way remind me of the creepiest fuck painting I have in my personal quarters?
No. It's very like
Thank
classically painted.
fuck.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. You're good.
Good to hear that this is not related, because that would have been bad.
As more and more of these curtains come down, and there's no real, I'm sure there is a pattern, but it's not like one after another. They're kind of spaced out so that the crowd can kind of disperse among the exhibits, and different people get to see different things revealed.
Do I have time to draw a tarot at this point? Because I was going to do it either here or before we left.
Yeah, go ahead.
How spaced out are they?
It's like every couple of minutes, kind of to let, the first group see the newly revealed exhibit and then move on, and then another.
While Rose is doing the tarot, I'll probably walk up to the painting and just like, just look at it and like think to myself, like, what's wrong with it? Why these markings? Just like kind of to myself a little bit. Maybe someone could walk up beside me while I'm doing that and listen to me, but I will tell you flat out, that is an existential question. Like there's not a clue to be gained there, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just like me as the orphan, I'm like, what is wrong here?
I'm at least going to find like a private corner or the powder room, add a little lead powder to my nose to make sure the dark circles stand out appropriately.
I am really
have
excited
Dimphna
about
watch
this.
the door.
What, so you're in the powder room?
Yep.
Okay.
Fish my tarot cards out of my corset.
Yeah.
Because I have a really, like, chill down my back, standing up neck hairs kind of feeling about this place, and I don't like it, and I want to know what's going to happen because Rose has control issues. I'm sure people figured it out by now. I have serious control issues. Please don't let these dice fuck me over. So about this Janus mask thing.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yep.
We'll say, the mirrors are typically, there's a nice chase lounge or something. There's always lounge chairs in the bathroom for some reason. Do you feel lucky?
I mean, I just got a 9. That's not a good thing.
As you are drawing your tarot,
Yeah.
you hear a commotion outside the door and a very, we'll say he's been drinking a little bit, our Constable Skimbleshanks. And he comes bursting into the room and... I'm so sorry.
Sure you are. I don't believe you. You're not sorry at all. Say it. Say it. Do it to me.
I'm not. He...
I knew it.
I just love him so much. He is going to slip on the floor. He's a bit out of sorts, and he's going to try and catch himself on the surface where you're putting down your cards. And what have you drawn, out of curiosity, that is so bad?
I mean, I rolled a 9, but I drew the thorn apple. A struggle or confrontation is brewing, and a question of if you have enough strength to endure the ordeal rather than a certain path to victory. It's a very iffy, you might not make it through kind of card.
Okay. So...
yeah.
So let's do this. Why don't I tell you what is about to happen? But you also tell me how one of your fellow hunters could die in this upcoming...
I will take that field. I will not use the Janus mask. I will take that deal.
Okay. So your answer is a mix of chaos and beauty. And death.
I mean, it's about what you expect with a 9. In the coming confrontation, as much as I, as a person, hate to have to do this to one of my bed buddies, if we're talking about beauty, Lysandra is a stunning example. It's beauty, it's grace. I'm not gonna call him Mr. United States because we're in America. We're not in America, but he's just everything. He's undeniable, and I'm getting a little bit of foreshadowing that maybe someone who is coming for beauty and who wants to make London prettier might look upon that gorgeous visage and go, well, that is a face I would like to add to my collection. So I foresee Lysandra without a face on the floor.
I love it.
I hate it, but thank you.
The constable kind of, backs away, having scattered some of your cards, and apologizing profusely. Wrong room. I'm terribly sorry. Wrong room. My apologies. And backs out the door, but the door doesn't go that way, so he has to maneuver, and he keeps bumping into everything, and finally he gets out and disappears back into the crowd.
What's wrong with you? Some kind of gentleman going in the bathroom when someone's in there.
My apologies.
Do I get some kind of keeper inspiration for not offing LD's character, even though that's what I do?
It is what you do.
Like a little bonus for not going for LD?
We'll see. Okay. For the rest of you, by this point, each exhibit is some sort of different medium. Words.
Medium, you say? Crystal ball, tarot deck, seance?
Other kind of medium. Art medium.
Damn
There's a large roped off, almost like a small stage area where there are dancers with their faces covered, almost in like a mummer's wrap. And their dancing gets more and more frantic and disjointed in time with the music from the string quartet, before almost coalescing into a smooth, synchronized, flowing sort of dance as the music calms. There's another exhibit where it's just a table with people behind fans, hand fans, quietly whispering to each other. You can only see their eyes. No matter where you are. Perfect, yes. Why did so many of you have that at hand? Okay, I see what I need to get next. Yeah, no matter just the way it's positioned, the only thing you can ever see of their face is their eyes. And foreheads if you're being pedantic. The final curtain finally drops, and it reveals the string quartet. Their bandages aren't as kind of delicate and finely tucked as the dancers. They are more like actual bandages, and there's blood kind of dripping down from their poorly wrapped wrappings. The cello is starting to, it almost looks like it's bleeding from where the cellist has been dripping onto it. The violinist's chin piece is covered. And I don't know what else is in a quartet, so we're moving on.
A viola and a bass. There you go.
I'm only going to make music people mad with my commentary on that.
To be fair, you can have a bass cello. Just putting it out there.
Words. So it is getting into one of the frenzied numbers What are you all doing? What would...
Staring. Probably in horror a little bit.
There is a collective gasp from the
Right.
rest of the onlookers, many of whom seem to just kind of take this as artful commentary,
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
As a... I'm going to use the term lightly here. Person, well aware of how blood and blood sacrifices, etc., work and smell and look. The seeping bandages, do they look special effects or more like there's actual people without a face that got bandaged and put out to
That's
play String
real
Quartet's
blood.
weird dark magic kind of style?
You can't see what's under the bandages, but it's real blood.
Okay, so that's real blood. Great. Free blood, nice. Still kind of fucked up, which is a lot coming from me. Is there anyone here that I can see that would we lost a person. They did say Baker did say her stream kept freezing, so maybe her internet's a little...
Okay, let's go to the Be Right Back screen really quick.
Yeah.
And we will be back in just a couple.
Yep.
Get some drinks.
See you soon.
Yes,
We'll
stretch.
talk more about blood later.
Please stretch. Hello and welcome back. Everybody is where they're supposed to be. Nobody is muted. We're good. On my end, anyway. You're all up to your own devices, that's fine. We are in the final minutes of our Northwest Center charity campaign for side quest. ! Donate if you want to get some final helps and hinderings into our players. I know we have one -1 for our favorite factotum floating around still. Yes. So
But I need my factotum.
there is basically a one could say gorgeous, some could say horrifying art exhibit before you. All focusing on beauty, one way or another. Apparently.
Having been rudely interrupted during her tarot reading by a rather bumbling and apparently drunk law enforcement person, I will not dignify the use of that name because we all know it's hideous. Rose would have left the powder room without any powder, but I'm sure she'll look properly tuberculotic anyway. Summon Dimphna to follow her. And find the rest, and I believe mainly find... Ezra's moping, which is fine and understandable if unnecessary, because, she's gorgeous in her own way. I think Rose would be aiming for Lysandra and Gwen, wherever they're holding court right now, and praying Lucy is keeping it together rather than making a scene.
I'll be with Lucy for sure, because I feel like we had that bonding moment before we went in, so I would be kind of looking out as well.
Rose would have mentioned that dress you're wearing looks great on you. Like we had it hemmed and it's gorgeous. You're perfect.
Yes.
Feel free to change this around if it's gonna not push us toward the end, if he's gonna take us the wrong way instead of the right way. But Dymphna is distracted and wouldn't necessarily follow Rose's summons, and instead would be shouting to the crowd and the servants in it, "Help us find the bastard that did this! This is outrageous and disgusting! Help us find the bastard that did this!"
Most people just kind of edge away from you, and you can hear heavy English accents say, is this part of the exhibit? I don't understand. Do I not understand art? And many of them will like reach out for many of the servants are like passing around drinks and canapes and whatever art stuff.
If you want, I can do it as a night move. Otherwise, I can just move on from it.
Describe your night move.
Well, I have interacted with a bunch of the servants while my mistress was in the bathroom. And so I'm very specifically sort of targeting the ones that I know are not enjoying the art.
Okay.
Yeah. And like sort of playing on the sympathies of these are not upper class people who've been possibly defaced up on the stage there.
Okay, so let's say with presence.
Okay. Well, this is a risk.
Yes. And what? Well, go ahead and roll.
It's a 6.
Okay.
I'm going to use the Janus mask on this one.
Okay. But before you do, what do you fear will happen?
I'm going to get arrested and interrogated for causing a scene.
Very good. And as it happens, there is not Cremidius, but another one of the staff comes over, not with Skimbleshanks, who's kind of just been around. More of a museum guard. And they've got some irons, and you'll have to come with us. This you can't be doing this.
Could I say that while this is kind of happening, because I like work, like sneakily, I take Lucy and we go start kind of exploring, because we go, because I'm like, I know what we're looking for. Is it? And like, while there's a distraction.
So I'll let this happen as a distraction, if that's the result. If they're able to get an advantage on sneaking, I'll let this happen. And in fact, I would have rolled a 5 because I had a -1.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So what you could do is use your Janus move, re-roll, right? And
It's an auto crit, yeah. It's an auto success.
yeah.
It's the next level of success
one
up.
level
Yeah.
up. So it would be
So one
a
level
success with a complication. So you might still, I would say that you could cause, assuming, oh no, it's just an auto upgrade. So you would succeed in causing a distraction for the others. It wouldn't be like an automatic arrest, but you might have to like talk yourself. You'll be just delayed a little bit because you have to get them to talk to Cremidius or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So tell us.
So I'm still getting put in irons?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. And I'll hold on to the Janus mask for when it's the right time.
Okay, because the one that you're doing is.
I have to do the first one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yes.
Lysander would definitely be kind of freaking out, doing this kind of like, not that he's that smart, but almost like Sherlock Holmes in the middle of a like crime scene, trying to figure out where to go. And he's gonna find Gwen and say, "My dear friend, I do believe we should get better eyes on this place. And I think if the killer is here, that is exactly where they would go. Would you like to accompany me, since you think I shouldn't be alone?"
Yes, I'm thinking we should head upwards.
You and I are of one mind. Let us go.
Yes.
We're just gonna start going up to the loft.
And Ezra and Lucky, is that where you're headed as well?
Yes.
Mhm.
I would assume there's like multiple vantage points probably up there.
So, the stairs, there's a set of stairs on either side.
Right.
I'd say, and they're roped off, but in like the laziest. It's just like that little velvet.
Right. We could totally just like hop on over. Okay. Yeah.
Great. Lead the way, Sweeten. I don't know how much good I'll be, but I've got your back.
We got this.
Rose, are you going with them?
Yep. As much as I might regret it, I will go with them. I might pocket, maybe not a rat, but a mouse from Dimfna.
I have rats and mice like hanging around in my
You
bag.
don't want to know what's in that bag. There's a lot of
There's
stuff.
like a zoo in there.
I mean,
Would
your
you feel
traps
better
are gonna
if they
get
were like
whatever
True.
rodents, right?
right, it doesn't
True.
have rodents. If Dimfna feels better carrying around lizards, we can go with lizards, but it's Victorian London and rats
Right.
and mice are just more common.
No,
Really,
and
it's a
I
civic
drug them
service.
so that they don't kill each other in my bag.
I imagine they were like in little separate boxes. Like, spoiler alert, I had a mouse in my house and I had little humane traps, and you can keep them
Oh,
in
yeah.
the trap for a
I
really
use the
long
traps
time.
for that, but I
So they're
kind of
just
like
in,
the
like,
idea that I just
little-
throw them in the bag.
Little individual traps.
I drug them and throw them in the bag. And every once in a while, I just throw in another sedative for them to eat.
Sure, as long as they're stunned and not dead, I'll
Yep.
take 1 or 2 mice and
Yep.
put them in my pockets, like breathing but not awake. For reasons.
For reasons.
I also make bedroom eyes at Lysandra because who is not interested in a little diversion at this point in time?
Up on the upper
Focus. Just kidding.
floor.
Look, I'm just making Dimfna jealous. It's a thing.
I'm fine. I'm doing just fine down here. I don't know what you're talking about.
You see a few closed doors. There is one further down the hall that has another, like, no entry or whatever sign kind of propped in front of it.
Is that it?
That's the door I'm going for.
Thank you.
I was gonna say I was gonna go that way too. Yeah. We're all
Well, I
kind
mean,
of-
I'm assuming like we would probably like convene at some point,
Right.
like see each other. We just went different ways because Dimfna was, we just had to go.
And it probably won't take too long for you to talk your way out of your mess, Dimfna, if you just, since we're nearing the end and just to keep everyone together, if you want to go up.
Maybe you could
I
have seen.
pull
from, like,
a mouse out of my bag and gross them out, and like in that moment, I go ahead and follow everybody, but on the
Perfect.
tail end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some more, like, people are now, like, making their way towards the doors because, like,
Yeah.
rat infestation is not what they signed up for.
Oh, yeah. Why don't I release a couple? I'm gonna release a couple into the crowd too.
All right, you've got the door. Is anyone going in? Who's on first?
Okay. Sure. was
I
gonna
think
say
Lucky would be like right behind.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like Gwen and Lucky would be like jostling to try to get in first.
I'm like kind of off to the side, but very much like we need get in here right now. Like,
Yeah.
focused.
I would absolutely
drunk.
try to have a lot of bodies between me and whenever the threat is.
Gwen's gonna look at Lucky and go, alright, I'm gonna open the door. We're both going to. She kind of motions for everyone to move to the side, so like if something is thrown out the door, you know, very bad boy style. and she's just gonna throw open the door and then like have her sword drawn, her saber drawn, and look inside.
And Lucky's got 2 pistols out, like just directly in front of her, straight arms.
Also bad boy style.
Yep, correct.
Inside the room, like the front area is very dim, and you see many figures. If you're going in gunsplit, too many to count. Much further back, this is a pretty large room, not obviously as large as the room before, but it's probably an underused storage room that has been cleared out somewhat. Cleared out and yet also still very cluttered. There are, as your eyes kind of adjust to the dim light, some of these, like, it becomes clear these are mannequins. Some are carved wood. Some are, there's a few statues. They're not all mannequins. Human figures of different types and shapes and all that stuff. All of them...
Pedantic question? Or at least confused English as a second language question?
Yes.
What's the difference between the mannequin and a statue?
A statue is more like a carved, like an art piece. A mannequin is more like...
it's a dressing doll.
Dressing.
Yeah, like what you'd find
something
in a
you'd-
sewer or...
Full-size dressing doll, yeah.
Okay. Correct. Thank you.
Yeah, it's more for use, either as like an artist's model, or yeah, to wear and model clothing usually. They are all featureless, almost all featureless, except a few of them, more than 3, are wearing the missing human faces.
Oh.
And beyond them, there are a few lights around a kind of a makeshift operating theater. And who would like to describe what we see? There's the figure from the room, the white coated masked face. What else do we see there? Who wants to tell us?
Should I use this as practice time
Go
for
for it.
describing? Okay. So when you walk in, you see these mannequins and these statues, and then of course we see the 3, faces. And we're gonna kind of peek around a corner where we see some light coming from, and we're gonna see a man hovering over this table with that white coat. Rose is probably like, I recognize that from my little shadow show. And he's kind of cocking his head a little bit like this, and he'll straighten it, and then he'll do that again. And we're just watching him, and he's very methodical, very particular in the way that he is working. So gentle, yet so disgusting, and just cocking that head to the side and pulling it up, and just very creepy from behind. And you'll see just windows kind of like this a little bit around, but they're all of the curtains are closed. They're all closed. It's very,
I like that.
very dim, very, very dim.
Yes, I like that quite a lot.
Okay. I was like,
last question, how far into his work is he? Because he just started? Or is this person dead and gone?
ooh. Ooh. Just started.
So at this point, you can't quite tell. They're laying motionless. Maybe they're alive still, maybe not. And I will say, just to tie everything together, there is a little vase with some of that white oleander, and probably some like vials and stuff as well. He looks up as you kick the door in, because what is stealth? Haven't heard of her.
Oh, what now?
What's this? Who are you? Can't you see I'm busy?
Throw a knife at him.
All right, partner, your days are numbered. Put down what you're doing.
Did you say you
And
throw a
you
knife
might-
at him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it in my bag.
You do.
Why not?
I'm
I
just
would
gonna
say-
grab some mice in my hands.
If y'all don't want me to do it, I won't
it.
do it.
No,
But I
by
feel
all
like
means.
that's where we're
Oh,
headed.
do it.
I just feel
so-
like we're all
yeah.
doing things at the same time.
Yeah.
I would say that
Yeah.
is something risky.
Yeah.
So what do you fear will happen if you fail? Or lose your nerve?
There's going to be a fight, and my employer is going to get hurt or killed.
Excuse you, I'm right here. Get the person on the slab, not me.
That's what I'm afraid of. Like,
That's
I'm
fair,
afraid that
you're
he'll
very-
retaliate
yeah, no,
and
yeah,
miss.
no, yeah.
I also would like to use a move here.
Yes. Does it conflict with what is your move?
Caliban's Fury. I don't know if it's possible to just like, because it has to be raw strength because I'm very, very strong. And like at this point, I'm angered because these poor people, and you know, it's reminding me a lot of myself and like what I've been through. And I'm just wondering if I could just like freaking use some juice and just push this guy. That's all I could think of.
Okay, so
Because I'm not like,
because
hard.
the thrown knife is going to be faster than you, you're on your way over.
Okay. Okay.
So let's do Jen's first.
Okay.
Crushing
let's-
some mice.
Just as one does.
Totally
Yup.
normal.
You've been around me.
I love it.
And I would say you would probably be rolling with...
Composure? Could it be composure? Because I'm staying calm under pressure, and I have like, because it's not really strength, it's aim.
Are you staying calm or are you freaking out about the
I'm
fact
staying
that this
calm.
ring might touch me?
I have composure too. I'm
touch
good
me.
under pressure.
All right, composure.
All right. And it's advantage because I used my item. It's an 8.
Okay. So
I gave you
this works. You
And I'm using it to protect you, miss.
succeed in striking him. It strikes his arm though. So the scalpel in his hand does drop, but he is otherwise now just mad. So the complication is that he is still up and ready for a fight. And he's going to say, you know, don't you understand? I'm trying to make the world beautiful. Why would you interrupt that? This is good work. This is what I'm meant to do. Ezra, go ahead. What are you you just trying to knock him over or?
Yeah, knock him over.
All right, go ahead. And this would be with vitality.
Okay. Oh, +2. Okay. Okay.
And what are you afraid of will happen if
11.
you fail? Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm so
Nope.
sorry.
No, I forgot, but it doesn't matter because you did not fail. So tell us how you succeed.
I'm gonna see that Dimphna, you know, got him and he dropped the scalpel, and like I you know had kind of described, this is fury, this is anger, this is, and I'm strong. I am so incredibly strong, and I'm gonna see that she nicked him. He drops the scalpel, and then that's when I just like go for him, and like I'm imagining me like taking him and we like flip over the table and I'm just like on top of him, just like holding him down, just like looking at him, just like with this fury and this anger and like whatever they can do in this moment, do it. Because I am strong and I've got a hold of him.
I'm going to walk up and just slit his throat.
Fair enough.
I love it.
Before I do it, I'm gonna be like, for Queen and Country.
I'm gonna go ahead and just let you do it because he's pretty much at a disadvantage, and that would be a very hard miss. And also that will let us just kind of tie everything up. You have successfully. I failed to tell you what your question that you had to answer was, which is, where is the killer hiding? So, crushed it.
Found him.
Found him.
We answered the question without knowing it.
I know, it's only like a major part of the game, no big deal.
A lot of rules anyway.
Yeah.
Lucky with both guns still drawn while this is happening, seeing Ezra sort of gives out a yeah and then watches Lady Gwen slit the throat and be like, and she kind of gets a look on her face. Well, I probably would have, honestly, I'm feeling a little tired. I probably would have missed anyway. Y'all Brits are hardcore. All right.
And I'm just holding him down.
Wasn't all Brits that did the work, you know.
With just fury and anger. You can tell I'm just like so angry, just holding him down. Like he's not going anywhere.
Not anymore.
I'm still dual wielding mice. As Lady Gwyn ends this threat. And I was going to still crush the mice for a very, very selfish reason, but looking at this scene before me, I was wondering if you would still let me roll with sensitivity to do one thing that is beyond human limitations.
How could I turn you down?
Easily, but I'm grateful that you won't.
While you're rolling, I am going to say this is our last chance to enter the giveaway for a copy of the game.
This game is great, you guys. You want it. I already own it, but you should join.
So good.
Hashtag Gothic in the chat. And then I'll draw it during wrap-up. Which is not what we call anything, but it's fine.
So I rolled a 10 and I have a 2, so that's a 12.
That's how it works.
And the thing I want to do that is beyond human limitations, originally I was going to use it to get laid, but Lysandra already said that we're down, so I'm not going to. So I want to, after Lady Gwyn ends this big mean threat, use, weirdly enough, the dark entities that have been following me since before I was born, and give Ezra a modicum of peace.
Meep. What does that look like?
I know that my entities can affect the physical world, and I want them to lessen or remove the scar on Ezra's face, because I know that's the one that bothers her the most.
Ezra, is that something you would want?
I'm gonna cry. Yeah. I think in the long run, that's exactly what she would want.
On the one hand, it feels bad not to do something for myself, and at the same time, it feels good to not do something for myself, which might be a new feeling for Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Conflicting emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So weird. I don't know what I'm feeling right now, but I'm helping someone else, and it feels kind of gross, but also kind of nice.
After all of his companions have totally done things before he's done anything at all.
I am going to hand my dead rats back to Dimfla, by the way. Mice. Dead mice.
Lysander is going to kind of walk up, see what just happened, see him bleeding out on the floor, and come and say, well, it looks as if your art wasn't well received after all, and, well, as opposed to our friend Damphna here, it's ironic, really. The one thing you couldn't do is save face.
No! No, Luke!
Ooh, I really want
High five.
to. I really want to take his mask off so bad. Do we have time for that or no?
Yeah.
Probably an hour and a half past time. It's
It's-
fine.
I'm sorry.
It is.
I just
don't
want to
think we're
know.
gonna-
I
we're
want
not
to know
really
what he
gonna
looks
recognize
like.
We're not really going to recognize him anyway. but-
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just a very average.
Okay. I was gonna see if he was like Lysander, like just, stunning, or.
Hey, no
or-
one's like Lysander.
No,
Well,
no,
I
yeah,
mean,
no
no,
one's
but I'm
like
just saying, like,
Right.
if there would be some, I don't know,
that.
okay.
No, he not one way or the other. Just
normal.
pretty average.
Okay.
Sorry for that disappointment.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
And yeah, the mask is the outfit is supposed to be sort of otherworldly and like evoke the idea of Sally No Face. He himself is just a dude with a scalpel. He's a bit of an asshole.
Is it a fancy scalpel? Can we keep it?
Oh, it's super nice. You could keep it. I will DM you all. I'll put it in chat, like what you can all add to your personal quarters from this. So that went long because I am ridiculous. Oh, real quick. Does
Also,
anyone
you
have...
picked 6 people to play a murder mystery.
I know, but it was a good time.
You're not
Who,
wrong.
what, does anyone have any, like, mini quick epilogue that they want to, keeping in mind that, like, I loved this and, like, we can play, like, proper, fuller, longer game in the future.
A very mini epilogue.
Same.
Yeah, sort of
Yeah.
like after this threat, I think I would go out and not eat a rat or something, as opposed to, like, a character finale.
Now I have a question for Rose. We're gonna make this one go away because it's the one I'm always hiding.
The one
So-
you feel the worst about is
okay.
the one we're getting rid of.
Would it happen
If you want to.
in that moment, or would it happen like the next day, or?
On a 12, it would happen in that moment.
Okay. I'm probably gonna go back to my quarters and just look at my face and just stare and just like feel that act of kindness, feel that, that act. That's what I've always longed for. That's probably what I'll do.
Meep.
Rose is going to have a fun night with Lysandra to not deal with the act of kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rose really doesn't want to deal with that act of kindness. She's just gonna ignore that she did a good thing and just have a night of weird debauchery and feel better about herself that way.
Plenty of that.
Lucky is going to raid the kitchen, grab a piece of steak, ostensibly for some sort of bruising injury of some sort that she absolutely did not acquire, and will just take it to her room and eat it as is, and then sleep for quite some time, trying to get rid of at least one of the conditions here.
I have a flashback. Damphna would go to her quarters when they get back and just be stuck thinking about Lucy saying, "You Brits are good at this." And her thoughts will drift, or British, I can't remember what she said. Her thoughts will drift to a time in her past when she walked out of what looks like an administrative building with an official-looking folder, and in an alleyway hands it to someone. And speaking in Irish, he looks through the folder, says, "This is excellent. This is just what we need. I have a new assignment for you." And he hands her a folder, and she opens it up, and it's a resume with a name on top that says Dimphna Mahon.
I just got the chills.
I'm not going to do anything that exciting. I'm going to just leave the art house covered in blood and then head down to a location that I go regularly and switch into boxing clothes and get into the ring and box.
Let's fucking go. That's awesome. I just got the chills. That is amazing. Sorry, I'm talking and I should be muted.
That's like the most explorer hobby ever. I love it.
Not even called boxing, it's pugilism.
For Lysander, I think he would be quite troubled by this kind of entire stunt, mostly because of this person claiming to be an artist of what they do. And he would take the exhibits that this guy put on and have his cult take them back to the headquarters next to his own massive statue that they pray to every day, and contemplate how different he is from this person. And I think he would just remember back a long time ago, the flashback of someone that first tried to draw him and use him as a muse. And back in ancient Rome, there was a man that tried to use him as a muse, but painted in blood and killed people in order to make his art. And he starts to contemplate at what cost does beauty arise, and who are we to demand it? And he doesn't have the answer, even as old as he is. So I think he'd go back, have some fun with Rose, and then share some tea with Gwen after her boxing.
And comes
And
back.
never find the answer.
All right. I unmuted myself. I'm proud of myself. Sign-offs first, real quick. Aww, Northwest Center.
Hi.
Thank you so much. We are just wrapping up our one shot for the day. Everything just flew out of my head, so that's exciting. I was gonna draw the winner. I know what I'm doing. Anna Jean, congratulations for winning The Between. I will message you to get your email address. Thank you everybody for donating today and hanging out with us. I am your host, Eva Sarit. This was a glorious day of The Between. A little off the rails, on the rails. It was a one-shot where I have not run it or played in it before, so big learning experience, but I loved it and look forward to doing it a little more by the book next time. You can find me here erratically. I love to do TTRPGs, horror, comedy, chaos, all the above. I don't think I have anything strictly on the books at the moment, but we will be starting up Horizon's Call Season 2 and Phazon Season 2 next year, and heaps of other good stuff. I'm going to go in reverse order, if that's okay. And Luke, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Luke. I go by Dr. Petrichor on Twitter. And I had the pleasure of playing Lysander the Undeniable today. But in general, I do TTRPG stuff sporadically now. But I also do video game cinematics for a living. And I really am looking forward to coming back into the space. And this was a great little nice to dip back into it. Yeah, that's me. I had a great time, and this was really fun.
Alrighty, excellent. How about Lady Dame?
Hi, everybody. I am Lady Dame. I have been Lucky Lucy, otherwise known as Unlucky Lucy, frankly, this evening, Winry. I am a late night variety streamer here on Twitch, TTRPG content creator and aspiring voice actor. You can catch me on my Twitch channel or on any of social media at The Lady Dame. Let's see, I'm actually going to be streaming tonight. We're showing off the newest sexy vampire visual novel called First Bite, which was a game made by a dear friend who, Peachy Anne, who is one of the writers on Arcade Spirits. We love them. So I'll be showing that off on my channel tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, probably. Also, I am the host of Smutty Saturday, where every Saturday night on my channel at 9 p.m. Pacific, myself and fabulous friends get together and read smut of varying quality. This month, we're reading cryptid smut. And this week, actually, this Saturday, I've got two fabulous guests who are going to be joining me to read potentially werewolf smut. Maybe. They don't know that yet, but that's what we're working on. Other than that, my streams are kind of sporadic as I am a theater professional also in my day. That's my quote unquote day job. So as those are coming back, the best way to find out what I'm doing or where I'm going to be is going to be following me on Twitter, since, you know, the theater life is exciting, but makes for chaos. But I'm available for like one shots and charity streams always. I love them. This has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen, or Quixote Jen, or Jen Quixote. You can find me on Twitter at Quixote Jen. But more importantly, if you are a cancer patient or former cancer patient, follow Play Cancer Away. If you're a supporter, also follow Play Cancer Away. We just finished a month-long fundraiser for cancer research. Eva was also a helpful event organizer and helps us a lot. I'm pointing to the side because that's where you are on Zoom. No idea where you are in the overlay. But we are organizing lots of offline games for cancer patients and former patients to play, as well as probably do some streaming in the new year and some more fundraising. So join us. We want to connect you to informal peer support. And yeah, this was super fun. I love this so much. And I loved all the characters. I loved the setting and the narration. And this was amazing. So thank you.
Thank you. Baker.
Hi, I'm Baker. I not playing in anything except for one shots randomly whenever someone's like, hey, play a horror game. I do play in VSIN, but that won't be back until next year. You can find me on Twitter at Baker_TTRPGs, but mainly you can find me on Instagram posting pictures of food and Starbucks drinks, because I'm me.
Okay, I updated that one. Ash.
Hi, my name is Ash or Ashlina, and I am a variety content creator here on Twitch. You name it, I stream it, but mainly video games. Also, I do a lot of charity. I will actually be raising money for 1000 Dreams Fund tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's my slot. So come hang out, come see what we have in store. But yeah, this was my technically second time playing D&D. First time on stream, having to kind of role play a little more with makeup and stuff. So I had a blast. This was chef's kiss, everything that I love in life, gothic horror. As you can see behind me, I am a horror movie fanatic collector. So yeah, this was awesome. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, you can find me at Ashlina with 2 A's at the end all across the board. So yeah, that's me.
And last but not least, my What do you call the person who encourages you to do things all the time?
Enabler?
Enabler?
My
Yeah,
enabler.
I would say, yeah.
Cheerleader.
I was gonna say cheerleader. Yeah, let's give it a positive spin.
Oh.
¿Por qué no los dos?
They're both true.
Anniek.
Hi, my name is Anniek. You can find me on Twitter at Anniekster. My life is a little weird right now, but normally I am scared of technology, even though I work in IT, so I put my face on other people's channels and I either DM weird shit or horror shit or a combination of weird horror shit for people, or I am a darling player who would never ever cause chaos or weirdness in any way, shape, or form. Don't make those faces at me. I can see all of you. I am an innocent little RPG being. No, it's not true. I'm chaos incarnate and I love all of it. And somehow people keep asking me back. Other than running Wiesen, which will hopefully be, yes, I did run you once, which will hopefully be back next year, pending life weirdness and family bullshit. I will be running so much stuff. I have 46 RPGs I still need to run for people. It'll happen at some point. Keep an eye on either Eva's channel or Mare's channel, or my Twitter, and we'll get dates and people and things will happen as soon as I manage to sleep more than 6 hours a night again and stop crying. That's my life right now.
Love you, Anniek.
I know.
I think that we will have a return of The Between at some point, if that's what I'm hearing. So keep your eyes out for that, I guess. Yeah, be good to each other. I'm going to leave the campaign open for probably the rest of the day. I think side quest goes through tomorrow, so maybe I'll leave it up through tomorrow. I'm going to go have some lunch, personally. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for supporting Northwest Center. Thank you so much for stopping by and for all the amazing stuff that you do. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for running, Eva.
Yes, thank you.
For letting me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keeper.
Aww.
That's the Keeper.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna go. I don't know who's playing what. Ash,
There's
do you know
lots of
anyone
cool
else
people streaming.
on the campaign who's streaming right now? I don't see
I
anyone.
literally just freaking exited out of it.
We're gonna go and see Rosie Raid, Valdrianth. She's doing some masks, so let's go ahead and go over there and take care, everyone.
Yes.
We'll see you later. Bye, friends.
Don't crush mice.